Scoop. True stories that have made headlines.
The heroine of Harker's Rock.
Yes, what is it?
Good morning. I'm Roger Phillips from the Daily Sun.
Oh?
Thank you. I telephoned for an appointment to see Miss Grace Darling.
I'm afraid that isn't possible.
Oh, I'm sorry, but I telephoned.
Whether you telephoned or not doesn't alter the fact that you can't see my daughter. Oh, she's ill.
Oh.
Everything's been too much for her. Over the past 4 years, she's never been left in peace, not for a moment.
Well, she is a national heroine. She's made the headlines.
She's a human being. A shy, sensitive human being. Well, you don't know what she's been through, Mr. Phillips. She's been feted and quoted and discussed and stared at. Especially stared at.
Well, that is to be expected.
She's had boats and babies named after her. She can't walk down a street without people touching her. My daughter was a quiet living girl. She helped us at the lighthouse. She was happy in her way until... Oh, I tell you, Mr. Phillips, it's all been too much for her.
Oh, I see.
Too much.
But,
The doctor's with her now. It's her lungs. An exhaustion.
Oh,
There's no hope for her, Mr. Phillips.
no hope at all?
None.
I didn't realize. I'm very sorry to have troubled you, Mrs. Darling. I wouldn't have intruded had I thought...
Sit down, young man.
But really...
No, sit down. You're here now. A human interest story.
Mrs. Darling, in the circumstances, I wouldn't want to distress you.
There's a storm blowing up. This is how it was when we were living on the Longstone Lighthouse at the time. That's on the coast of Northumberland. There was a storm then. Thunder like this. Rain, wind. My husband and Grace were...
The weather's worsening, Father.
Aye. Bottom has fallen out of glass. The wind is driving up fast this way, too.
I've never known it as wild as this before. Oh, see them white horses trying to crash down on us?
Ah, well, it's a good thing we stocked up with supplies last week. This spell of weather is going to last. I'm only sorry that Brooks went fishing. He should be here helping us.
Oh, let him enjoy himself, Father. This isn't the life for a young man.
Only hear you talk, Grace. One would think you were at least 100 years old yourself.
Well, it's different for me. I like it here. Brooks doesn't.
He'll settle. I only hope he'd put into shore safely. Fishing Cobble hasn't a chance out there. With a night like this, the Tronso broke up on Harker's Rock.
Tronso? I'd never heard about it, Father.
Well, it doesn't help to talk about such things, lass. I've spent the past 20 years trying to forget.
But what happened?
She struck full on and broke into pieces. Not one life was saved.
Oh.
They were all...
Did you see it?
Aye. Everything through that same glass that you now hold in your hands. I stood there watching.
Oh, it must have been horrible.
The nights I dreamt about it. My feeling of helplessness as I stood there watching. When the weather cleared, no ship remained, only those rocks and the gulls above, wailing and calling.
But, Father, couldn't you have rowed out to help?
What?
Oh,
Rowed
yes.
myself? Oh, heaven preserve us, girl. Row a light fishing cobble a mile out on a night like this? Impossible. It took the lifeboats more than 2 hours to reach them, and they had the wash to help them.
Yeah, but imagine what those people's thoughts were, Father. Just imagine being out there in this, and knowing you're going to die, knowing there's no hope, watching it coming.
Grace, what talk is this? Stop it now. I would never have told you if I thought you'd take on this way. It all happened long ago, now forget it. I'll take over watch from you. You go down to your mother, girl. Go down to her.
Oh, Father, this is my watch. Let me finish it.
Only if you promise to forget all I told you about Tronso. What's done is done. It's finished. We'll never have another tragedy like that. Believe me, Grace, such things can only happen once in a lifetime.
Yes, Father.
I'll go down to your mother now, and I'll be back in an hour.
More coffee, William?
No, thank you. Oh, I'll be going to see how Grace is getting on.
Oh, don't worry about her. She's all right. Rest yourself.
Oh, but it's a wild night to be up in that tower alone.
She's used to it, William. Now sit down. A man of your age can't work morning, noon and night. You must relax. Here, let me pour you coffee. There you are.
I said no.
Oh, shush. No need to snap at me.
Oh, sorry.
That's better. Now, put up your feet and let me fill your pipe for you.
Sometimes I think I'm mad staying here.
But this is your job.
I should go ashore, get a job with regular hours. We'd better for Gracie and you. She would meet more people, and maybe some likely lad would marry her.
When the time is right for her to marry, she will.
But she's growing no younger. 22 last birthday.
And what of that? I was 24 when I met and married you, William, darling.
I wouldn't be wanting my Gracie marrying a lighthouse keeper. That's why I should leave here. Get her away. Let's see more of the outside world.
If that's to be, William, then surely it will be. The good Lord has everything planned for us. It's written clear in the book. So don't go fussing and phrasing yourself. Now, come on. Let me pour you some more coffee.
Oh, I wish Brooks hadn't gone fishing.
I told you not to let him go, especially in this weather. His place is by your side, helping with the lamps.
Hey, the alarm.
Oh, merciful heaven.
Grace must have seen something. Come on, let's go up to her.
Father! Quickly!
What is it, Grace?
A ship has been driven on Arca's Rock. Do you see?
Yeah, give me the glasses.
Here.
Steamship, sizable too. Run up a distant signal for near Coast Guard station, Grace.
All right.
I'll do it. You stay with your father, Grace.
And wait and see if signal's acknowledged.
Yes, William.
Must be Forfarshire. The only steamship on this run.
How long will it take the lifeboats to get there, Father?
This wind blowing a couple of hours.
Couple of hours? But she'd break up before then. She's jammed out in the rocks now.
Perhaps she'll stand up to the battering. She's stoutly built. See?
Huh?
She's holding steady.
I can't see any passengers, can you?
No, not with this spray and the waves breaking over her. It's just possible they abandoned ship before she struck.
The signal's been acknowledged, William.
Good.
2 hours? We've got to stand here and do nothing for 2 hours?
Now, see here, Gracie, we've signaled for lifeboats. Without us, they would have been denied even that help.
But we must do more. We can't just stand here.
We can do nothing. As long as she holds together, everyone will be safe enough.
But it won't hold. It can't. And there's another thing, Father. Double tide rises within the hour. Once that happens, no one on board will have a chance. It'll rip the ship to pieces.
Don't talk to your father like that, Grace.
Father, how can you stand there doing nothing?
Grace, I know this coast.
Father! Oh, that wave! Did you see?
Caught her stern and swung around.
Oh, she's broken in half.
Yes, there are people, look. Clinging to the rock. I can see children. We can't leave them there. They'll never survive the waves. We must do something, Father. We must.
Give the lifeboats time. They'll reach them.
There are 9 people there, I've counted. 9 people clinging to that rock.
But we can't stand here and watch them die.
Well, if it's to be, Grace, it will be.
Oh, Father, let's launch the fishing cobble and row to them. That's their only hope.
Are you mad? Launch the cobble in this weather?
But you must. I'll help you to row.
Impossible. If we ever did reach those survivors, we'd never return here. Not in every season strong current.
But we can try. We must try.
Grace, don't go on and on. You heard your father. It's impossible.
Oh, very well, then. I'll do it alone.
I won't allow you to leave this tower.
Father, you yourself told me that you never slept for 4 nights after the wreck of the Tromso. The feeling of helplessness you felt, standing here, watching and doing nothing. Well, I'd go mad to have such a burden on my conscience.
Do you want to kill yourself? That's what this plan of yours will mean. Death.
Father, as we stand here arguing, those people will be swept away. Every single moment is precious.
Grace, you listen to me. The strength of at least 4 men is needed to control that cobble in this weather.
Look, I row well. I'm strong.
Oh, a slip of a girl. Don't listen to her, William.
Oh, Grace is right. We can't leave them out there. We've got to do something.
But this is madness. Hear me well, Grace. If your father is drowned this night, I'll blame you for it.
Dear Mother, look through this telescope, please. I beg of you.
No.
Please. Oh. There. You see those people on that rock clearly now? Aye. Well, must we leave them there without trying to help them? Must we, Mother? Think if you were there. Or me, or Father.
Oh, do what you like, Grace. I'll stand up here and pray for you.
Oh, thank you, Mother. Come on, Father. Let's launch the fishing cobble and go to them as quickly as we can.
Approach the wreck, Grace. Not in this swell. Go by way of Curlew's Rock.
I know that's a mile off course.
We can't risk anything else. Pull easy. Watch that current.
Aye. If only we could pull clear into the channel.
Not a chance. Easy, Grace.
I'll be all right. Can you see them yet?
Aye. When we're riding the crests.
Think they've seen us?
I can't tell. There's no sign of the Sunderland boat. Watch out, Grace. Pull harder.
Right.
Rocks ahead. That's right.
We're going to reach them, Father. It's getting easier now.
Got the wind with us for a space.
Yeah.
Once we've left sheltered rocks, it won't be so easy.
Oh, I know.
They've seen us. Did you hear?
Aye.
Hold on. We're coming.
Oh, if only we could pull harder.
Easy does it, lass. Not far now. Tricky bit here. Pull harder, quickly.
I can see them. Look.
Ahoy, as quick as you can. Can't hold on much longer.
Can you see how many there are, Father?
No. When we draw nearer, Grace, you stay in cobble and drift in as near as you can. I'll jump on rocks and help them aboard.
Yes, right.
Watch it against the rocks, that's all. Clear out a bit.
I'll do that.
That's it.
Careful when you jump, Father. The rocks are very slippery.
Quickly there. We can pull no harder. How many of you are there? 8 men and a woman. Oh, we can't take them all, Grace. Not more than 5. They'll swamp us.
We'll have to pull out twice.
Aye. Oh, we decide that. Let's see how we manage this. Here, let me help you to pull the boat in. No, I'm jumping to you. Can't risk the rocks.
Right. Now, Father, now with the swell as it is.
Hold her where she is, Grace.
Right.
I'm going. Steady, sir, steady. I got you. That's it. I can take 5 of you this trip, only 5.
Only 5, but there are 9 of us.
I can only take 5.
The rest will never hold on.
Only 5. This lady here and 4 others. Quick now, make up your minds.
You're asking us to stay and die.
Luke, my daughter is out there in that boat. She can't play it much longer.
Your daughter?
Aye, my daughter. Those that stay will come back for. That's my word. We will.
Yeah, but the tide is rising.
A woman and 4 of you. That's my last word.
Father, quickly, the tide's turning.
You heard her? The woman and 4 others. Come on, follow me.
Give you a hand with the rowing, miss.
I know these parts. We're almost there now.
Keep her steady.
Aye.
Are you the lighthouse keeper hereabouts?
Aye.
I thought you were the Sunderland lifeboat.
It takes time launching them. Much further away. A couple more miles.
You talked about going back for the rest. You need help?
Aye. The lass can't do it again. She took full burden of this trip.
I'm all right, Father.
I'll take over her place.
You mean that?
Yeah, well, I'm used to handling small craft. Able seaman aboard the Forfarshire.
You're on then, young man. Right, just as soon as we put these survivors ashore,
to pull out again and rescue the rest of them.
Father! Look, I could easily go back.
No, Grace, you've done enough, my girl. Why, but for you, I would never have launched this trouble, and these people here would never have been saved.
Oh, well.
That's enough. Leave the rest to us. Aye, 'tis little enough for us to do.
Have you seen the boat yet, Mother?
I watched your father pick up the rest of them, but they seem to run into a heavy swell near Curlew's Rock.
What? Haven't you seen them after?
No. Oh, Spray's getting worse.
Oh, dear.
It's difficult to see. Here, you take the glasses and have a look.
All right. Oh, I can't see them.
But I saw them, Grace.
Yes, but if they'd watched on the rocks, I'd see the boat. I couldn't help it. Oh, they must be all right.
Well, where are they then?
Well, sea's running so wide, it isn't easy to pick out a small cobble.
Here, let me have another look.
Go on, woman. Just a minute, Mother. I think... Yes, there's 6 of them, quite close.
Oh, praise
But
heaven.
they look in bad shape. I'm going to the lee of the island to pull them in.
No, Grace, it'll be too much for you. Leave them, the tide will bring them in.
But Father will need help. The boat could easily capsize when they touch.
Oh, all right, then. But I'm coming with you.
No, Mother, you stay with the
I'm
others.
coming. Quickly now, lass. We'd better hurry. They'll be touching any moment now.
Oh, if only the moon would show to make things easier.
Oh, I've never known a crawler night. They should be pulling in here.
I'll hail them. Ahoy!
Ahoy!
Oh, there they are.
Stand by to grab when we touch. Badly wounded survivors aboard.
Oh, poor souls. Oh, if only we had a doctor for them. We've not even supplies enough.
We've got plenty of warm blankets and coffee. That'll help them. Oh, here's the cobble.
Over the side now. Aye, there. She's touching. Grab her, Grace.
Right. Oh. Got her, Father.
Pull now.
Pull.
Pull. Here, miss. Let me give you a hand. She's steady enough. Come now. All the folks that can walk over the side you get. Help them up, Mother.
Yes, William. Come.
You, Grace, give me a hand here.
What's it, Father?
Man's badly wounded. I'll drop him over to you.
All right.
Get his shoulders.
I will.
Coming now.
Yes, I've got him. Here, come on, that's it.
My back.
You'll be all right.
Oh.
Now, come here. Put your full weight on me.
But you're a woman.
Don't talk.
Oh.
We're nearly there now.
Oh, what's your name?
Grace, darling, but please don't talk.
Darling, Grace. Darling, you saved my life. Oh, and I'll never forget.
Mother, I need more bandages. Have you any sheets left?
I've just torn these. Here, take them.
When the soup's ready, will you bring me a bowlful? I think it might help that man to revive.
How is he, Grace?
He needs a doctor badly. I've managed to stop the bleeding. Oh, Father, there you are. When can you get the doctor through?
Got no chance of reaching the mainland, Grace, not with the seas running so high.
Ah, well, we'll have to do as best we can, I suppose.
You should have a rest yourself, lass.
Oh, I'll be all right. It's the survivors that I'm worrying about.
But keep 'em warm and feed 'em. Can't do more. Help will come through from mainland in a couple of days' time. What the devil? Who's that?
It's the Coast Guard, William.
I'll let 'em in.
Oh, what a devilish night. Oh, hope you've got some whiskey for me, William.
Fred, what are you doing here?
Oh, what a surprise, eh? Oh, didn't you expect us to get here, is that it? Well, after all, you did run up a signal for the Coast Guards, didn't you now? No survivors, though. We got there too late.
Here's something to warm you, Fred.
Oh, an angel of mercy, that's what you are. Oh, that warms a man. Oh, I said the Forfarshire was carrying 45, and the sea running as high as houses. Took us hours to battle to the rocks. Found only a couple of bodies. Dead.
One of them were a clergyman.
Well, how the devil did you know?
As a matter of fact, Fred, Grace, and me went out and picked up survivors.
What? You and your jokes, William, darling. Oh, you and the girl. Oh, that's choice, that is.
That's the truth.
Are you serious?
Aye, it was her idea when she saw him clinging to Arker's Rock. Take the fishing cobble and go out, she said. And we did.
You two rode through that sea? No, it's impossible. Why, the six of us could scarcely manage it. Now, wait a minute. If the survivors are here, where are they?
Upstairs. Come on, I'll show you.
You and that slip of a girl through that sea? Why, you must have rowed over a mile.
Aye, and when we got there, she played the boat out to keep it off rocks. I upped him aboard.
You saved 9, you said?
8 men and a woman.
Well,
There you are.
It's nothing short of miraculous, William, darling. I'm an honest enough man to admit that. It's miraculous. Why, we were all pulling hard against the current at Arker's Rocks, and even then the boat touched several times.
Oh, Grace is a bonny rower, Fred.
Oh, I know that, but even then, the cobble isn't an easy craft to manage. Oh, well, it's not my place to stand here and make speeches, I suppose. But I'll tell you this, William, darling, with no fear of error. The world's going to hear of this lass of yours. Aye, they'll hear, and they'll be calling her an heroine.
So, that's the story, is it, Mrs. Darling?
Aye. My Gracie found herself famous. It was headlines in all the newspapers. All folks were overwhelming in their gratitude. Well, you know what it was like yourself. People want someone to admire and respect and worship. They chose Grace. But what they didn't know was that they'd destroy the girl.
Every Saturday night at 9 o'clock, we bring you a true story that has made headlines in Scoop. Scoop. True stories that have made headlines.
The Baron's Charter.
Mother, the King's coming.
Are you sure, Margaret?
I saw the procession from the battlements. Oh, Mother, it's like a miracle. To think he should be here at this time. Well, he'll accept my petition. I know he will. You've always said he'd agree.
No.
No? What do you mean?
I've never said John would agree to anything. I only said I'd speak to him, should he come to this castle before your marriage.
And it's happened. John, King of England, is approaching the walls of the castle. It's a sign from heaven. Oh, you'll speak to him, Mother. You'll beg him not to marry me to Edwin de Stanton.
I can do no more than speak to him, Margaret.
Mother, what's the matter? Oh, surely you don't think he'll refuse. Oh, once he sees how much I hate de Stanton, he'll never force me.
You've been widowed, Margaret, and yet you are still a child.
But old enough to love Randolph.
Randolph?
I promised I'd marry him.
And if nothing should come of your promise?
Oh, why shouldn't it?
The king is not interested in people's feelings, only in their possessions, which he uses to fight his battles.
You think he'll force me to marry Edwin de Stanton?
He has said so.
But I can't. I love Randolph. I promised to him.
promised. Why will you keep using that word? The king knows the Stanton's wife must give half her wealth to the royal coffers.
Is that why he's arranged? Mother, why didn't you tell me? Why did you let me believe?
I've never let you believe anything, child. I simply know you'll never marry Randolph. But the king's coming. We must prepare ourselves to greet him.
You will plead for me?
If the opportunity arises.
Oh, it will. I know it will. You've known the king since you were children, and he's always listened to you. Oh, please, Mother.
Very well, I shall plead, but if I fail, you must obey the king.
How can you ask me to do such a thing? You've not seen how cruel de Stanton is, how he tortures those who oppose him, how he ill-treats the animals in his estate. How could I live with such a man? Oh, plead with the king, Mother. Beg him on your knees to listen.
All that way and nothing to show for it, madam. Nothing. Retreat is all the English army's fit for.
You have my sympathy, my lord. Defeat is not easy to face.
Defeat?
King Philip threw the weight of France against Bouvines, my lord. We were at a disadvantage. How could we expect...
Expect? I've spent a fortune on trying to regain Normandy, and what have I got in return? A handful of mercenaries that I have to support, and an archbishop who treats me like a child.
Archbishop Langton loves England, sire.
And tries to rule it for me. That's something you don't know, isn't it, William? Although you're Marshal of England. And he's not the only one. Philip of France needs no encouragement to invade England for a second time.
He knows he'll never succeed, my lord. Your barons would flock to your banner as they did before.
My barons, what use are they? No, William, in England my word is law, and this is how it shall be until I die. Did you hear what I said, my lady? I, John, am King of England.
I know that well, my lord, I know.
And yet you say nothing?
What is there to say? Besides, I'm only a woman, and women...
Don't try to humor me, Eleanor. We have known each other since we were children, and you have always advised me.
Have I, my lord?
This is a beautiful castle, my lady. Your husband, Sir Roger de Bruff, must have died a wealthy man.
He left me a castle and its attendant expenses, my lord, but very little with which to pay them.
But your daughter, the Lady Margaret, they say she's one of the wealthiest women in the country.
She has estates, my lord.
You know she has more than that, Eleanor. She has a king's ransom in gold and jewels. I think you'll agree. She's an asset to her country.
I don't understand.
Oh, come, Eleanor, come. You're not as simple as all that. You thought you'd keep her possessions a secret from your king, didn't you, my dear? Have no fear. The King of England knows where his wealth lies. The king knows.
My lord, I know this is not the time, but I beg you to, please...
Well, my lady, you were about to beg for something. What is it?
For my daughter's life, my lord.
Your daughter's life? I don't understand.
You know Sir Edwin de Stanton.
Oh, my dear Eleanor, what a ridiculous question. Edwin has served me for years.
Then you will know what sort of man he is.
Explain yourself, madam.
Do you think him a suitable husband for my daughter?
Suitable? Why shouldn't he be? He's a man of rank and position at court. He has my deepest affection.
He is a cruel man.
That is an insult.
It was not meant to be. My lord, my daughter has no wish to marry this man.
Do you know what you are saying? Widows of your daughter's status are in no position to choose their own husbands. The Lady Margaret is wealthy and is therefore expected to wed as her king wishes.
So that her gold can be used for the war against Normandy. So that her king can regain the land he has lost and can also finance a campaign against those who fight against cruelty and injustice in our land.
You have said too much, madam, far too much.
Forgive me, my Lord King, but Margaret is my only child. She means everything to me. Would you expect me to watch her suffer? My lord, she loves Lord Randolph de Fair. Give them your permission to wed.
De Fair? De Fair? Do we know him, William?
Yes, my lord. He is a man of good birth, but his lands are not extensive.
He sent men-at-arms to Normandy?
No, my lord. He has been unable...
Then he is useless to me.
His is a loyal family, my lord.
And that is enough? That's what they all say, those barons who plan to kill their king. I've no need for loyalty, William, and I need wealth and men-at-arms.
My lord, as Margaret's husband, Randolph de Fair will send you all the help you need.
I'm sure he will, my lady. On the other hand, Edwin de Stanton...
No. I am sorry, my lord. but I would rather die than permit such a marriage.
I'm not interested in martyrs, my lady.
You are not interested in your people, my lord.
My lady, you speak to the king.
Treason. You speak treason, madam. Have you forgotten that my word is England's law? If I say your daughter is to marry de Stanton, she will marry de Stanton. Tomorrow she will accompany me to London, where she will be married immediately.
Then you will have to drag me to the church.
Margaret, in the name of God, be quiet.
So the Lady Margaret is able to speak for herself. Come forward, my lady, and tell me what is worrying you.
Don't listen to her, my lord. She doesn't understand.
I think she does. Well, my lady?
I will never marry anyone I've not chosen for myself.
You possess a considerable fortune. England's law says this shall rest in my hands. You shall marry de Stanton both for England's sake and your own good.
Is it for my own good that you marry me to the basest of your favorites? De Stanton is so heartless that his tenants shudder at the mention of his name.
The Lady Margaret is her mother's daughter. She has been well trained.
Forgive her, my lord. She is overwrought.
I know what I am saying. I also know that this land is full of discontent.
What did you say?
That from the barons to the lowest of your subject, your people remember the reign of your father, Henry II, and the great charter of liberties on which he based the government of the land. You do not even remember your coronation oath. Is this how a king should rule? Can you blame your people for their hatred?
Have you finished, madam?
No.
Margaret, listen to me.
Let her speak her mind, Lady Eleanor. Let her speak.
There are people who serve you, my lord, because of England. Such a man is William, the marshal, who sits with you. But there are others, and they are in the majority, who say you have debased the name of England, that the country's poverty is your responsibility.
If the barons had shown me loyalty in Normandy, there would be no need for taxation. I can only win battles by taxing those vassals who refuse to give their services on the battlefield.
And the ordinary people. What about them?
I'm not interested in the scum of the land.
Widows who are forced to marry your hateful favorites. Landowners who are wrongly accused by the mercenaries you call sheriffs. Heirs whose money you've exacted. These are the ordinary people. You tax their very livelihoods, the merchants' stocks, the craftsmen's tools. This is how you wring money out of your people and then leave them to die of starvation.
You are full of virtuous indignation, my lady. What would you suggest?
Have pity on your people, my lord, in case they lead you into civil war.
I have heard enough. I'll not be insulted any longer.
My Lord King, the Lady Margaret is young and
There
inexperienced.
is no need to defend me, Lord William.
Even your king will no longer defend you, my lady. Engelard de Cigogne?
My Lord King.
I have a task for you.
My Lord.
You will take the Lady Margaret and her mother to their own dungeons, and there you will hang them.
My Lord, they are women.
They are traitors.
But still women. Have pity on them, my lord, have pity.
You're a fool, William. De Cigogne, you heard my orders. Take them away. Hang them.
My lords, my lords, my lords, this has gone on long enough. How much longer are we to put up with this man? I say he must be got rid of. Not next year or next month, but now.
My Lord Fitzwalter, I beg you not to be impetuous. To get rid of a king is no easy matter. Are you prepared to face a divided country?
Why not, my Lord Archbishop?
Well, surely you love England.
That is why we're here, my lord.
And yet you would see her suffer.
You are a great man, my Lord Archbishop. But even you cannot fight Satan single-handed.
That is why we must be understanding.
What understanding had he towards his nephew Arthur? None. None, my Lord Archbishop. The boy stood in his way, and he was slaughtered.
He could change if...
I wonder. Have you forgotten St. Margaret's Day? 2 years ago, in 1213... That was the day on which you received him at the door of Winchester Cathedral.
I have not forgotten.
Nor, I believe, have you forgotten how you made him renew his coronation oath. We remember that day too, my Lord Archbishop. We heard him swear to defend and maintain the church enforce the great laws of his ancestors, and render to every man his right.
And he felt that ceremony.
At the time, perhaps, but what good has it done since?
I tried, my lords. It was the least I could do.
Yes, my Lord Archbishop, you tried. But then we've all tried since that day to help England. Can't you see? John Lackland is a tyrant. He's self-seeking, has a violent temper. He'll never keep any oaths. You, Pembroke, you know John better than most of us. What do you think?
I say the king shall die.
That is regicide.
It has been done before.
To William Rufus. And when he died in the New Forest, who succeeded him? Henry the First, a man as cunning and unscrupulous as John. Help the king, my lords. Don't hinder him. Help him to keep his promises.
Listen to Fitzwalter, my lord. John will never keep any promises. Where are the fair trials he's always promising? Why does he vow to lift taxation and instead double the money he takes from us for his wars in Normandy?
The Earl of Pembroke is right. John has no love for England. He rules his land with the help of foreign mercenaries.
That can't be true.
We know their names, my lord. Peter de Roche, Fawkes de Brote, Engelard de Segogne.
Then destroy his advisers. Don't destroy the king.
You have met my cousin, my Lord Archbishop.
I do not know.
Her name was Margaret. Margaret de Lacy.
Oh, I remember her, yes. She is a beautiful girl.
She is dead.
Dead?
Hanged. Drawn and quartered in the dungeons of her own castle.
Who did this thing?
One of the king's mercenaries. Engelhard de Segogne. Neither was she alone when she died.
What do you mean?
Her mother, Lady Eleanor de Bruff, died with her because Margaret refused to marry the king's favorite, Edwin de Stanton.
The thought is like a dream. Margaret dead. My lords, life must go on, and although it must tear at the heartstrings, one must remember that the first crime never excuses the second.
I'm sorry, my Lord Archbishop, but we have no alternative. We must march on London.
And when you get there, what will you do?
Force the king to restore our ancient and accustomed liberties.
Let us kneel, my lords, and dedicate our lives to God.
Well, my Lord Archbishop, what do you want?
The barons have left Bury St. Edmunds, my son.
And I'm supposed to be terrified by such news?
I was with them, sire.
What are they planning? To overthrow their king?
They have marched to Stamford, where they say they are encamped for a tournament.
What sort of a fool do you think I am? We know why they're there, my Lord Archbishop. They're not there for a tournament, but because Stamford is on the road to London. Well, what shall we do about them?
Listen to them. As Archbishop of Canterbury and your father in God, I beg you to receive them in peace.
Listen to them. That's all I've done ever since the barons rose against me. Listen to them. What good would it do me? I'll tell you what they want, Langton. My kingdom.
That's not true.
It is true, and you know it. They'd take the throne if they were not afraid England might rise behind me. However, you say you've been with them. What are their complaints?
Only one. That you have broken your coronation vows.
Are we all perfect?
You repeated those vows 2 years ago, swearing to defend your country, and through justice and humanity to bring peace to your people.
Would you preach at me as you do from your pulpit, my Lord Archbishop? Why should I uphold my vows when the barons ignore my appeals for help against France? Oh, where's William?
The marshal is waiting in an anteroom, my lord.
Then call him. I need the advice of a soldier.
William, Marshal of England.
You are wasting your time, my Lord King.
Is that your opinion of England's marshal?
My lord, you could not have a finer man than William. And that's why I say you're wasting your time. I know his advice already.
My Lord King.
Ah, there you are, William. The Archbishop feels I'm wasting my time. I don't think so.
My lord.
What must I do about the barons?
Work with them, sire, not against them.
You were right, Langton. He's another idealist. And he's not afraid to speak to me as if I were a scullion. What shall I do? You say I'm wrong, and what must I do?
Read their conditions. Sent in this letter, sire.
Conditions? They have sent conditions?
Perhaps I should have said suggestions.
Approved by you at Bury St. Edmunds, my Lord Archbishop?
Yes.
I see. In that case, there's no need for me to read the letter. You must know it by heart. Tell me what it says.
Before her death, Eleanor de Bruff sent her nephew, Robert Fitzwalter, a copy of your father's Charter of Liberties.
Eleanor sent it?
Yes, sire. Her nephew leads the barons.
Go on.
The barons have used the Charter of Liberties as a basis for another, one they call the Magna Carta. Their request is simple, that they may present this new charter for your signature and seal.
Oh, that's funny. Oh, they think I'll admit to my so-called guilt by signing a piece of paper. Huh. You may give them my answer, my Lord Archbishop. Tell them that my father is no longer king. I, John Plantagenet, rule England and have no need of any Magna Carta.
If you love England, sire, remember that government must be founded on justice and that the laws of the country are the expression of that justice. You are the upholder and dispenser of such laws. Sign the charter, and I know our country will be at peace.
How do you know, Langton? I haven't read the charter. Perhaps it contains things of which I shall not approve.
My lord, I am sure.
Do they mention my mercenaries?
They do.
Well, what do they say?
They are to be banished.
I was right. I do not approve of this charter, and I refuse to sign.
My lord, the mercenaries are of no importance.
Doubtless not to you, William. To me, they are my life's blood. You may send messengers to these barons. Tell them the King of England refuses to sign their Magna Carta.
My lord, you will listen.
Will? You forget yourself, Langton. The barons may be marching against me, but I am still king. What is it they call themselves, William?
The host of the Lord and the Holy Church, sire.
A new crusade. Do they think the peasants will follow them against the king?
It's quite possible, sire. We've already seen signs of it in London.
In London?
The barons have entered London, sire.
What are you trying to do, Langton? Frighten me into signing their Magna Carta?
Have I ever lied to you, sire?
No. And when they rode into London, how were they received?
In silence. Nothing could be heard but the tolling of bells and the rattle of hoofs on the cold streets. The barons will have their way, sire.
I won't give in. As long as the rest of England is behind me, I shall hold out.
Fitzwalter has already appealed to neutral noblemen.
Oh, they'll laugh at him.
No, sire. They'll join him.
I won't. I tell you I won't give in. You can't make me.
Calm yourself, sire. You have only to sign
I
the
won't.
charter.
Come any closer, William, and I swear I'll kill you for allowing this to happen.
The barons have no wish to rule, but merely to advise, my son. Fine, and you shall see.
How dare you suggest I'm incapable of ruling? Get out, both of you. Get out!
Very well, my lord.
No! Wait! Where are you going? You can't leave me alone. They'll kill me.
Then sign.
No. No! No!
Welcome to Runnymede, sir.
It's you, Fitzwalter.
Yes, my lord.
I'm tired. I can't stay long.
The charter is ready to sign, sir.
You've thought of everything. The quill.
Here, my lord.
Johannes Rex. There, it's done. The seal, William.
Here, my lord.
Thank you. Well, that's the end of it. At least you didn't stab me as I wrote.
We are not murderers, sire.
You here too, Pembroke?
As your servant, my lord king.
I've always thought Runnymede was an attractive place. The river's so peaceful. Come, my Lord Archbishop, I've done as you asked. Let's get back to Windsor.
Will you take a copy of the charter, sir?
I have signed it. Surely that's enough.
It is more important that you should fulfill it.
How dare you? You have degraded me before my people. Would you break me altogether?
My lord, I did not mean to.
You may thank heaven I've signed. Oh, come, Langton, I've had enough.
The king has signed, my lords. God save the king.
God save the king. Did you hear him, Langton?
I hear him, my lord king.
What is a piece of paper but something to be torn and trampled underfoot? Who cares about their Magna Carta?
The people of England, sire. They will see you keep the Baron's charter.
The Baron's Charter was written by Bridget O'Donnell, produced by Rolf Jacobs, and directed by Delphine Lethbridge.
Every Saturday night at 9 o'clock, we bring you a true story that has made headlines in Scoop. Every Saturday night at 9 o'clock, we bring you a true story that has made headlines in Scoop.
August 21st, 1934. $500,000 snatched in Coney Island.
You got a visitor. You got 10 minutes.
What the heck do you want?
Sit down, Archie.
Out to the devil with you. I got nothing to say.
Sit down.
What do you want?
The full story of what happened at Bay Street, Coney Island 4 years ago.
What happened at... How do I know?
You were there, Archie.
Me? There?
You were there. I want to know what happened.
Now, look. Just because you happen to be my brother and a patrolman, that don't mean I'll tell you anything. Now, you can go right back to your boss and give him that message.
You're inside now on a long sentence. Forgery. Talk about the Coney Island hold-up and the police prepared to drop 2 years.
Big deal.
2 years, Archie.
And what makes you think I was involved anyway? I don't know anything about it, nothing.
You were there.
Yeah, you can't pin a thing onto me.
O'Toole has talked.
Is what?
And you know O'Toole, don't you?
He said...
Say to ask Archie Stewart. He knows.
The rock...
Archie, you got to talk. This happened 4 years ago now.
Yeah. Yeah. The perfect crime. The police can't find a thing. Not any evidence at all. None. And that's why they sent you. Let Patrolman Stewart see his brother, they said. The papers will like that. Lawkeeper sees lawbreaker. The kind of stuff that'll make headlines.
The old lady told me to come.
The old... Oh.
She talks a lot about you still, Archie. My favorite son. The smart one at school. The one who was really going places.
How is she?
Old, like I said.
Yeah, I haven't seen her since I was...
Sentenced? Yeah, that about killed her. She was at court.
I never saw her.
When they said 15 years for forgery, she just sat there, as if she'd been struck.
Why did you let her come?
Have you ever tried to stop her doing something?
All right. She feels bad. But that don't make me responsible for that Coney Island snatch.
Cigarette?
And don't bribe me with cigarettes. You know, I can see right through you like glass. Just like glass. Talk your brother round, they said. And it'll mean promotion for you, Stuart, they said. Yeah, I can just hear 'em. And here you are, all slickered up. The cop who's got ambitions and is going places.
Joe Wallace has hanged himself.
He's what?
They caught him on a kidnapping charge. A stool pigeon talked and said he was involved in the Coney Island robbery. But before they could ask him anything, they found him. Dead.
Oh. Well, that makes most of them gone.
Gone?
Dead, most of them.
So you were there?
Sure. Sure, I was there, all right.
Tell me what happened. If most of them are dead, it makes no difference now.
And why do you care? The money's been spent. The guys are finished. The case is closed.
It can't be closed until the full story is told. For the past 4 years, the police have been working on this case. They interrogated pigeons, questioned convicts, and quizzed barmen in the dives around Times Square.
And they found nothing.
Nothing.
It proves, don't it, that crime does pay sometimes. Yeah, there was $500,000 in that little deal. A cool $500,000.
Didn't bring much luck, did it?
Maybe not. But the police didn't latch on. And that's how Manning planned it.
Fats Manning?
Sure, Fats Manning.
We found him shot dead, but we never found his killer.
He was a perfect organizer, the planner. He was a strange guy. Yeah, that was Manning. I'll never quite understand what made him tick. Strange.
So he planned it, huh?
You know, it was like a military operation. Yeah, boy, he was an organizer. I got wind of this snatch, you see, and the guy said maybe there was something in it for me. And so I went to see Manning.
And understand this. If you do work for me, it won't be money for jam. It'll mean you gotta earn every cent you make. And if you don't like the conditions, then don't start.
I understand.
And understand this as well. I'm the boss. What I say goes. I don't need anyone who will argue or have his own ideas. That's where these schemes fail. Too many bosses. Too much pulling this way and that. I demand obedience.
Oh, sure,
right.
Sure.
Right now, here. This is a map of Bay Street, Coney Island, know it?
Yeah, well, not very well.
Yeah, you soon will. This here is the Rubles Ice Works.
I've heard of them.
We are gonna make them famous. Over here is a strip of grass. Here are a couple of tennis courts. I want you to get the scene fixed in your skull. The iceworks here, the road, the grass, the tennis courts.
Yeah, sure. Sure, I remember.
I plan to snatch $500,000 from the armored car that draws up here in front of Rubles every day.
So that's it.
Well, that's the beginning. The plan. Before we make this snatch, we gotta make certain, absolutely certain, that nothing will go wrong. For 5 weeks, we're gonna keep watching the iceworks. For 5 weeks, we're gonna push ice barrels to Rubles, load them, and then ditch the ice in Gravesend Bay. They gotta know us. We'll be good customers. And then when the time is right, wham.
I see.
No. You don't see anything, little man. You heard of Wellington and Nelson and them others. Well, they won their battles because they planned carefully, see? Nothing was left to chance. And because of that, history remembers them.
Yeah, history remembers him. Sure.
Like the police are gonna remember us. They'll never find who robbed that car. All they'll know is that we got clean away. I'm treating this like a military operation. That bloke Wellington didn't go into battle with his eyes closed. No, man, he organized, he planned, he had meetings. Same as we will.
Yeah, that's great.
Every single day we're gonna meet here and go over the plan. Yeah, that's what it's called. The plan. You've got to live and breathe and think about it. You've got to get into that thick skull of yours until it's a part of you.
Yeah, sure, that's how it'll be.
All right, these are the conditions you work for me. Think about them. And think about this as well. I demand and I get blind obedience. Everything I say goes.
That was my first meeting with Manning. He spoke... He spoke like he was...
Inspired?
Yeah, that's it. Sure. Inspired. That he was. Inspired. Every day we met up with him and we went over the plan. We pushed barrels of ice up the loading ramp at Rubel's and then dumped them into the bay. We saw the green armored car draw up.
Here it comes. Same time every day, 12:10. Routine payroll delivery.
Hey, pity we can't do it now. You know
Do what I say. These were the conditions. Right, the guard gets hurt. Lights a cigarette. And this is my entrance. Buongiorno, signore. Good morning.
Morning. Who wants ice today? It's freezing.
There's always a demand, huh? I can sell as much as I can carry away. This is a very ice-conscious city.
You Italian?
See. They always say that Tony is the ice man. Murphy is a policeman, and the mafia rules the lot. That is good, huh? Oh, see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
Every day it was the same. We were all there with our barrows, laughing and joking. The armored car would arrive. The guard had his cigarette. Manning would talk to him and walk away laughing, acting the comic Italian. And then one night, at our meeting...
Right, this is it. Time to act.
All right, we're going
tomorrow.
Yeah, all right. That's right.
We're going to check everything once more. All right, here's the map. This is Rubel's Ice Works, the grass, the tennis courts, the loading ramp. And here is the armored car. All right, the guard gets out. What's your move, Joe?
Yeah, well, I
Come on, quickly, man, quickly. We've done this every night. What's the matter with you? Quickly. The guard's out of the car.
I race to the company's office and tear the telephone out for the bow. I hold up the staff.
Right, you, Archie.
I pulled a sack off the bottom of my cart, grabbed my submachine gun, and raced to the guard and shoved it in his chest.
Where will you be, John?
I have a boat waiting at Gravesend Bay.
Yeah, but something else, man. Something important.
The motors will be right.
Yeah, and see that they are. What about you, Pete?
12:15, we bring up the 2 getaway cars, we load the bags, you all jump aboard, and we jump off to double back on our tracks. We pass behind the iceworks alongside the Bay Beach police station and pull up at Gravesend Bay where John Hill be waiting.
Great, you've got it great. Now it's over to you, Ollie.
Well, I...
Come on with it. The boat arrives with us aboard. What happens, man? What happens?
Yeah, I'm waiting at Rockaways. I help load the...
No.
Huh?
What happens first?
I got a truck waiting.
That's it. The truck's waiting.
I help load the money, and I drive to Gladys' place at Queensboro.
Yeah, see, don't make a mistake.
No, I got it fixed in my mind.
The rest of you scatter. And we'll meet up at Gladys Friday, right?
All right, okay, I understand.
Any questions? You got it all figured in your mind?
Yeah, sure.
Right, then go to it, then. And by heavens, make certain there are no mistakes.
The snatch went off like clockwork. Just like clockwork. We got the guards. We got the money. We loaded it aboard the getaway cars. And as we roared off, one of the guards grabbed his gun and sprayed us with bullets. But we were out of sight. We doubled back in our tracks, and this is the joke, man. The real joke. We drove past the police station even before they knew and headed for the bay.
Come on. Quit sleeping. Get moving with those bags. Get moving.
Right, boss.
Like keep those fishing lines where the folks can see them. Yeah, that's it. Spread the nets out, too. We're on a fishing trip.
It all worked perfect, boss. It worked perfect.
Yeah, because of the organization. We gotta be away from here before the cops have time to set up roadblocks. Ollie, dump the guns overboard. If we're searched, we don't want them to find guns. Maybe we can get away with the bags under the nets. Yeah, dump them.
Okay, dump them.
Come on, hurry with those bags. Come on.
Like I said, it was clockwork until...
Yeah, what happened?
One of the strings on top of a money bag caught in the trigger of a sawn-off shotgun that Ole was ditching into the water. He pulled the gun, and there was a sheet of yellow past my neck, but it got McMahon in the leg. He didn't make a sound when it hit him. Not a sound. But he slumped overboard and then slipped into the oily water.
What the heck have you done, Ollie? Grab him, John.
Look at his leg, will you?
Give me a hand with him. That's it.
He's finished, boss.
Huh? No, he's still breathing.
Let's dump him overboard, boss, and get out of here.
He's still breathing. I've got him. Quickly now. Get him over to Rockaways and let's call a doctor.
He was hurt bad. Very bad. But I'll say this for Manning. He called himself a friend of McMahon's, and he didn't play the dirty on him. When we loaded the bags into the truck, he got a car and drove across the Queensboro Bridge to Gladys' place.
But he can't stay here, Fats. He's a dying man. The doctor said so.
What do you expect me to do with him? Dump him in the river? Is that what?
Maybe it'd be the best thing.
McMahon is a friend of mine, huh? We worked together for a long time. We put a couple of good snatches. He's never let me down.
But he's dying.
All the more reason for me to stick by him.
Oh, that's fine, fine. But what happens when he dies here in my apartment? How do we get rid of him, huh? You answer me that one. How do we carry a body out of here and into a car in that busy street? You tell me that,
He's
huh?
not dead yet.
You heard the doctor. You heard him as clear as I did. He hasn't a hope. It's loss of blood and shock, and McMahon is a dying man, and you got to face up to it.
Yeah, sure, but...
I said you could store the bags here until such time as the police cool down. I don't mind that. But I do mind him through there.
Look, Gladdy, I can't do that. See, I couldn't ditch anyone. I mean, that's not even a dying dog. I couldn't ditch it, okay? I pull a snatch or two. I'm good at that organization, but I just got a heart for blokes that work for me. I mean, McMahon's been like a brother.
Will you skip that kind of talk?
Well, you listen to this talk, Gladdy. You just listen good. If I could ditch him, I could do the same to you or anyone else who works for me. I could pull a double cross any time. But that's not the way I work. And if you want to go find yourself some other guy, just go ahead. I ain't stopping you.
Cool down, cool down.
Yeah. Poor Luke. I gotta tell his wife he had kids, too.
Well, you go tell her quickly.
I'll have to see her. It's gonna take me time.
Well, get on with it, Fats. Before it's too late, huh?
What's it, Gladdy? I came as soon as I could.
He's dead.
He's what?
Oh, don't just stand there, Joe. Do something about it.
You sure?
Of course I'm sure. Of course I am. The doctor's...
Well, what did he say?
He's dead. That's what the doctor said. He's lying through there.
Where's Fats?
Gone upstate to tell his wife. Could be. Might be back tomorrow.
Well, we'll have to wait and see what happens.
What? You expect me to live in this apartment with him through there dead? You expect that?
But, Gladdy, what can I do?
Get rid of him, that's
yeah,
what.
but he's Manning's pal.
Oh.
Well, he'll have to come back.
Okay, I'm walking right out of that door. This is straight. I'm walking out.
But the money's here.
That's too bad, isn't it, Joe? That's too bad. The money's here, but I'm not staying. Oh, no, thank you. I can take most things. But bodies, I cannot. Period.
Well, I'll have to talk to Archie and then see
You'll do that. And come up with some solution fast. Or I'm getting right out. Oh, I mean that.
How is he, Gladdy? I told his wife, poor kid. She took it bad. How is he?
Gone.
Where is he?
Joe and them took him away yesterday. He died.
He died?
It was the best thing, Fats. He was finished.
I told his wife that whatever happened, she'd have a share.
Well, that sure seems stupid to me. He's finished. The money is shared between us all, huh?
Fixed it with her.
All right. All right, now keep your cool. It was terrible for me.
Sure. What did you do with him?
Well, here's Joe now. He'll tell you.
Well, what happened? What'd you do?
Well, it wasn't easy, Fats. It wasn't easy getting him away from here.
He should never have been brought here in the first place. That's what I said.
Well, we had to think of the corridor outside and the road and the people. We just couldn't go.
Well, what did you do?
Well, we got this trunk, you see.
Trunk?
Yes, right. This size, and we shoved him inside.
You shoved him?
Well, what else could we do? What else? You tell me a better plan, Fats. Go on, tell me.
He couldn't stay here indefinitely.
Well, he said she'd leave it.
That's right, I would.
So what could I do?
What did you do with the trunk?
Well, me and Ole, we dumped it in a sewer.
You dumped it in a sewer?
Yeah, don't worry. He's safe for sure.
You didn't...
Look, boss, we had to be practical. We couldn't risk anything. Remember your organization...
I could have done that better way. You should have waited for me.
Well, I explained, boss. Daddy said she would walk out, and we couldn't risk that, but the money's still here.
I wasn't staying here.
So what could I do?
We worked together for years, McMahon and me. We were close, like brothers, we were close.
That's great, but we've got to be practical, Fats. It's a lousy thing to have happened, but it was an accident.
That clown, Ole. I'm gonna get him.
No, it was an accident. The trigger caught in the net, and it wasn't always fault. It was just one of those things, that's
You
all.
plan, you organize. The bunch of dirty clowns stepping and wreck everything.
The snatch was perfect. The police haven't a clue. Now pull yourself together, boss. Are we going to divide out tomorrow as we planned?
His wife is gonna have his share.
Why?
Because I said so.
But it
That's
should
why.
be shared amongst us.
I am the boss. I say she gets a share, and that's the way it's gonna be.
We met as planned and divided out the loot. I got over $50,000. I stuffed the dough into a paper bag and a shoebox, and we all scattered. The police hadn't a clue. Not a clue. And that was the end of the deal as far as I was concerned.
There's more to the story, isn't there?
More? What do you mean?
There's still Manning.
What happened there was nothing to do with me. It was Joe and the woman, not me.
You may as well finish the story, Archie. You've come so far.
But it wasn't me, I tell you.
Okay. It wasn't you. But what happened?
Well, this is the last part.
Give it to me.
Joe came to see me. It was a surprise, you understand, because, well, I thought everything was finished. I hadn't seen the guys for weeks. He came to me, and Gladys was with him.
He's like as if he was mad, Archie.
You're talking about Fats?
Yeah, she's talking about Fats.
I'm scared, Archie. He talks about McMahon the whole time and what happened to him. It's worked on his mind. I've never known Fats this way. Not in all the years I've known him. He's an organizer and a planner. He keeps his wits about him like no other guy I've ever met.
Sure.
If we don't watch it, Archie, he's going to the police.
What? But why the police?
I'm telling you, it's his mind. Fats doesn't know what he's doing, not anymore. I'm scared. If he starts talking...
That's the end of all of us.
So what are we going to do, huh?
Don't look at me, Gladys.
No, unless we do something to stop him, Archie, we're going to get caught like this.
But why do you want me...
Back in the apartment talking about McMahon. How he died. And you. What you did to him.
We had to.
So you had to, I know that. But Fats doesn't seem to understand anymore.
He's a danger to us, Archie, and we got to do something.
What do you guys want here? I thought you'd scattered.
They've come to see you, Fats.
Yeah, that's right. We come, Archie and me, to talk about old times.
Uh-huh.
Police are still looking. They were over at Barney's the other day. Know what they said? It was the working newcomers, the Brains Trust, which had gone into crime for the first time. That's what they said.
Yeah, it was a brilliant organization.
Yeah, a brilliant piece of work. Like Nelson and Wellington and Napoleon. That's me, an organizer.
Yeah, sure. You're great.
Yeah, but I never thought that McMahon
It was an accident.
It was only. He pulled a gun and he shot him.
Baloney.
What do you know of it, you
All right, easy.
He pulled a gun and he shot him. You heard it when I was dishing out the dough. Don't pay the widow, he said.
Now, that wasn't part of the agreement.
You in this too, aren't you?
No, of course I'm not.
A lot of you in this. You all wanted McMahon out of the way. More for you. Is that how you planned it?
No, he was my pal,
They
too.
took him in that trunk and they dumped him in the sewer. That's what they did. Dumped him like garbage. My friend. That's what they did to him.
What, he was dead?
So you are in this too, right? Okay. I'm getting even with you and them.
Fats, no. No, Fats, put
I'm
down that
getting even
gun.
with a lot of you. You're greedy. That's what you all are. Greed for something that ain't yours. Who thought up the snatch? Me. Who organized everything? Me. A perfect crime. Now you want to horn in and take it from his wife.
Put that gun down. Now put it down.
I'm finishing the lot of you.
Watch him, Joe.
Stand
Grab
back.
him, Archie.
Joe! Oh, Joe, you've killed him. You killed him.
That was the end. That's the honest truth. They sort of struggled. The gun went off, and the Fats got it. He died right there, like that.
Yeah, I remember we found his body and thought it was gang warfare.
You might say it was the end of the big snatch. Fats planned everything, but he didn't plan that.
Every Saturday night at 9 o'clock, we bring you a true story that has made headlines in Scoop. Scoop. True stories that have made headlines.
"61 years ago today, on the 14th of April, 1912, there occurred one of the greatest maritime disasters of all time. The sinking of RMS Titanic. The sea was calm, the sky cloudless. It was a cold night, bitterly cold, as only the mid-Atlantic can be in April. It was 9 o'clock, and a message flashed from the steamer Coronia.
Captain Titanic. Westbound steamers report bergs, growlers, and field ice in 42 degrees north from 49 degrees to 51 degrees west.
Marconi operator Bride acknowledged the message. It was routine. But no one was worried. There was no need to be. The Titanic was the safest ship afloat, a gigantic lifeboat, unsinkable. On board, 2,201 people, all booked through to New York, on this maiden voyage of the largest ship the world had ever known. The passenger list read like the social register. Colonel and Mrs. J. Astor and manservant and maid. J. Bruce Ismay, managing director of the White Star Line. Mr. and Mrs. Martin Rothschild. Countess of Roths and maid. Sir Cosmo and Lady Duff Gordon. Mr. Henry B. Harris, theatrical producer. Mr., Mrs., and Master Washington Dodge. First Officer William Murdoch, in charge of the watch, stood on the bridge, peering into the encircling darkness. It was a silent world out there of hidden treachery. Suddenly, the crow's nest bell clanged 3 times. The phone rang.
Yes?
Iceberg right ahead, sir.
How far off?
Looks like a quarter of a mile, sir.
Well, keep a sharp lookout and let me know if you see ice on either bow.
Aye, aye, sir.
Hard to starboard, Quartermaster.
Hard to starboard, sir.
Stop engines. Take a note of the time, Quartermaster.
23:40, sir.
Great heavens, she's not answering her helm.
Wheels still hard over, sir.
I'm going full speed astern on the engines. You closed watertight doors?
Both watertight doors, sir.
Oh, she's not turning quick enough.
She's going to hit, sir.
Great heavens! Hit the berg with her starboard bow.
What the devil's up? What have we hit, Mr. Murdoch?
Iceberg, sir.
What?
I put the wheel hard to starboard and reversed the engines, but she was too close. She did not answer her helm in time.
Close the emergency doors.
I've already closed the doors, sir.
Ask the engineer on watch if the ship's damaged and making water.
Aye, aye, sir.
Meanwhile, in boiler room number 6.
Boy, Seconder, what's all this about?
Closing watertight doors.
What for?
Let's get out of this. Come on through here. Quickly, now.
Never gonna make it.
Come on, come on. All right, that's it.
Sis just made it. I wonder what's up. Hey, Bill, what's up?
I know. Going out to sea.
Hey, down there! Hey?
Please, sir! Like an iceberg!
An iceberg? I'm going up on deck. You wait down here until you've been given orders.
Why, hang around here, Seconder.
Well, get along to the engine room in case you're wanting to help down there.
Look here, Seconder. The way the water's comes through these flow plates, won't seem a waste of time. I'm getting out.
Do as you're told.
All right.
I'm going through to Ballroom 5 to see if they want help. Get along with you. No more arguments.
Send the body to death. That's what you're doing.
I said no more arguments.
All right, no call to shout.
Look, get on and do as I say.
Aye, sir. See you at the pearly gate.
I'll have more to say to you later on. More important things to do at the moment. Go on with you. I'm through to the engine room to see if I can help in Ballroom 5.
Hey, you give us a hand with this pump, will you?
Right, you're off.
Keeping ahead of the water, but it's no good. It can't last.
Something's on first.
The boiler will be blown up when the water gets to them.
Oh, some talk of us hitting an iceberg.
I don't know what we hit, but a sea poured in and it nearly got me.
Throw the fires.
The sea's coming in faster. It's up to the wasting parts.
Pumps don't seem to be making any impression.
No, water's getting the better of us. Only they'd rig more pumps.
Orders from the engine room. We've got to get out where we've got in the job.
Thank heaven for that. Let's leave this. Put the stokehold ladders and quick.
Up ladders, down steel corridors, figures ran, none very sure of what had happened. Passengers woke up and wondered, engine stopped? Strange, what's up? It was only a brief thought. Most of them turned over again, remembering with a certain complacency. The ship's unsinkable. 16 watertight compartments, that's what the travel brochure said. So there's nothing to worry about. There's nothing to worry about. Of course, there's nothing to worry about. That's what the lamp trimmer, Sam Leeming, thought, lying off duty in his bunk.
You know, Pete, it must be great to be a millionaire. Yeah, I'll say. Take that bloke Brandeis. Who's he? The one who has the private promenade deck off his suite. Oh, him? Yeah, they say he owns department stores in Omaha. Huh. Well, good luck to him. Wonder how many millionaires we've got aboard. Oh, dozens. Oh, it's the life. Make no mistake about it. Luxury. That's for me. I wonder what galantine of chicken is. Here. What you got there? The menu for lunch today. Oh, what do you want that for? Show my old woman. Let's have a deco. Aramis Titanic, April the 14th, 1912. Luncheon. Consomme fermier. That's some kind of clear soup. Oh. Wonder what this is, eh? Cocky leaky. And fillets of brill, chicken Maryland, corned beef. Is that there? As large as life there. Corned beef, vegetables, dumplings. Could do with some of this, eh? Munich beer, threepence, and sixpence a tankard. From the grill, mutton chops, buffet, eh? Soused herrings, eh? Shrimps, salmon, Cumberland ham. Hey, what's that? What the devil's that? Say, Pete, do you hear it? What? That noise. Come just after the engine stopped. Oh, there's nothing to worry about. I'm not worrying. Only, I think I'll go and have a look. Well, pass me that packet of fags before you do. Here. Oh, thanks. Pete, it's much louder out there. Look, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. There's something wrong. Yes, with that door open, it certainly... Well, you know, I think we'd better go and have a look, Sam. Right. Come. But, you know, she seems to be listening. Wonder if we struck a bird. Well, it's possible, but, you know, things seem calm enough. There's no panic. Well, we can't say until we've located... Oh. Straight, Pete. Do you see down there? Look, there's water. Water! Pouring into the fore-peak locker. The ship's been old, that's what. Come on, let's get up on deck.
By now, most of the crew knew there was something to worry about. They could see that the Titanic's wounds were mortal, And on the bridge, the commutator showed her slightly down at the head and listing 5 degrees to starboard. The captain with an engineer went on a tour of inspection.
There's water in the forepeak and a 300-foot gash.
Yeah, plus the first 5 compartments hopelessly flooded.
And the ship unsinkable. That's what I was told. Unsinkable.
Well, I suppose they never thought of a disaster of this sort happening. This ship can float with all the first 4 compartments flooded, but not all the first 5.
I thought the modern shipbuilding had progressed far beyond this. Still, there isn't any time to discuss that. Order the boats uncovered and 6th Officer Moody to get out a list of boat assignments.
We haven't much time, Captain. She's lasting badly.
Yes, but we don't want any panic. There are over 2,000 lives aboard the ship, and they must be saved.
After the Titanic struck the iceberg, Marconi operator Bride began tapping out the letters.
CQD. CQD. MGY. MGY. CQD. MGY.
CQD. MGY. CQD. Distress signal coming through, sir. MGY. That's the call letter of the Titanic.
Titanic? Distress signal? Are you certain?
Coming through again, sir. CQD. MGY. CQD. MGY.
Hang it all, the Titanic's unsinkable. She's on her maiden voyage.
Well, there's no doubt about the message. It gives her position. 4146 north, 5014 west.
Tell her we're coming hard. I'm going to the chart room to plot our new course.
Right, sir. Carpathia coming hard. Carpathia coming hard.
Message coming through, sir. Carpathia, 58 miles off. Coming hard, sir.
Carpathia, 50 miles. 4 hours at least to get here. She has no speed. Frankfurt, Mount Temple, Olympic. No, all too far. Go on sending out distress signals, Bride.
Very good, sir.
Go on and on. Don't stop. Who the devil's that? Vauxhall.
Located a light, sir. 10 miles off the port bow. A steamer, sir.
10 miles?
I tried to get in touch with the Morse lamp, but I couldn't get an answer.
But she must have seen us.
I should imagine so, sir. Shall we fire the rocket, sir?
Yes, but I don't want to panic the passengers. The lifeboats are being launched, but we must keep them calm. They still think this vessel's unsinkable.
There was a bit of trouble in the steerage, sir.
Yes, but that's under control.
Shall I go ahead with the rocket, sir?
Yes. Fire one every 5 minutes. We've got to contact that steamer. It's our only hope.
It seemed to hang suspended for a moment, then exploded with a shower of white sparks which floated gently into the sea. 10 miles away, Second Officer Herbert Stone saw that rocket. He watched it. A rocket? Extraordinary, he thought, that a ship should fire rockets at night. Then he turned away, while the 10 miles separating them gradually widened and widened and widened.
Any luck, Vauxhall?
No, sir. I released 8 rockets, and no acknowledgement at all.
But for heaven's sake, why? Surely they must have seen them.
They must have, sir.
Keep on firing. Visibility's good. Someone else may pick us up.
Right, sir. Another going up now.
Another going up. Another. Another and another. The rockets exploded their urgent message in the sky. Sparks showered into the sea. But Second Officer Herbert Stone wasn't watching, while the 10 miles separating the ships gradually widened and widened and widened. Meanwhile, the Carpathia was racing to the rescue.
Dr. McGee, I want you to set up first aid stations at each dining saloon.
Right, sir.
Brown, you and the assistant purser cover each gangway and receive the Titanic's passengers. I want coffee for all hands, and have soup, tea, brandy, and whiskey for the survivors. And above all, I want the men to keep quiet about all this. The job's going to be difficult enough without the passengers hanging around. It might be wise to station a couple of stewards in each corridor.
Aye, sir.
I'm going up to the wireless check. You'll find me there. Oh, and, Dean.
Here, sir.
Drop pilot ladders and side ladders at gangways and along the sides. Rig cargo nets to help people up.
Aye, sir.
And don't forget the oil either, to pour overboard in case the sea grows rough.
That's been organized, sir.
Good. Remember, this isn't going to be easy for any of us. But out there somewhere, over 2,000 people are in danger. And it's up to us to do something about it.
Message from the Titanic, sir. Another one coming through now. Engine room getting flooded.
Tell them we're on our way, as fast as we can. Oh, if only this old ship could knife ahead faster. We're doing 70 knots and can't drive harder. Tell them we're doing our best and will arrive in a couple of hours.
They're trying to contact us again, sir. It's very faint. Get your boats ready. Going down fast.
Anything else?
No, sir. No, cut out completely.
They must have gone.
Aye, sir. I'm afraid so, sir. They must have gone.
Hours later, the Carpathia drew near the Titanic's position.
Can't see a thing, sir.
No, but there must be something. Lifeboats? Great heavens, they must have had time to launch them.
Look, sir. Look over there.
A green flare.
And another.
Must be her light. She must still be afloat.
Perhaps we are in time after all.
If only she'd fire some more, we could get bearings better.
The wind's coming up, sir.
Yes. Makes things more difficult. We don't want the water choppy.
Can't understand this, sir. There isn't a living thing in sight. It must have gone down.
Someone fired those rockets.
Another, sir. Look, you see, directly ahead and low in the water.
Yes. It's a lifeboat. That's what it is, a lifeboat. There, near that iceberg.
Yes, it's not going to be easy picking it up. We're to windward.
Ahoy there!
They're hailing us.
We've only got one seaman and can't work very well.
All right!
Leave it to us! Watch that iceberg, sir!
Don't go too close, sir.
Tell them to stand by on deck and drop lines when I've maneuvered into position.
Aye, aye, sir.
And warn Dr. McGee. By the look of those survivors, some of them are in pretty bad shape.
Are you Fourth Officer Boxhall?
That's right.
The captain wants to see you on the bridge.
Oh, all right.
How do you feel?
Cold, that's all.
Had anything to drink?
Yes.
Good. Oh, come on, then follow me.
Have you any idea how many boats they picked up?
16 and 4 collapsibles.
16 and 4. That's a lot.
Most of them weren't filled.
No. Some of the passengers wouldn't board them. Said the Titanic wouldn't sink. Oh, they must have been crazy. In the end, there was a stampede. But in the beginning, no. Sort of had faith in the ship.
Didn't you?
Well, in a way. But once she hit the berg, there was nothing we could do. Water poured in. Pumps couldn't handle it. 300-foot gash. That's what they said she had. Oh, it's sort of perplexing.
Perplexing?
Yes. We build something and
think we know all the answers, but we don't. Not really.
By the sound of things, there's a lot of people who won't ever know about the Titanic.
And I hope it stays that way. The truth isn't always the best thing. Not in some cases.
You make me curious. But the old man's waiting. Fourth officer box hall, sir.
Oh, good. Come in. Thank you, sir.
You saw the Titanic go down?
Yes, sir. About 02:30 hours.
And Captain Smith?
He went down with the ship, sir.
I see. There's some talk among the survivors that there was trouble launching the lifeboats. That people fought for places, that shots had to be fired to keep them under control.
In the later stages, sir, yes, that's true. In the beginning, they couldn't believe that the ship would sink. They laughed when Captain Smith ordered them into the boats. Then she started to list badly. And the water rose fast. That's when the trouble started, sir. Panic. You know how it is. Then there was another thing, sir. We weren't carrying enough lifeboats.
What?
Only enough for 1,100 people. We carried well over 2,000.
I see.
I wish it had been a case of women and children first, sir, but it wasn't. It was...
Yes?
Oh, I'd rather not, sir, if you don't mind. Well, you can't criticize. I saw some fine things. Things that made me proud. There was Isidore Strauss and his wife. She wouldn't leave her husband. And he refused to enter a boat before any other men.
So they went down together?
Yes, sir. Yes, they went down together. You see things like that, sir, and, well, you forget the other. The chap who put a shawl over his head and pretended he was a woman. And the other who tried to steal a life belt.
Is that a fact?
I wish it wasn't, sir. I suppose there'll be an inquiry, sir.
Oh, yes, of course. Over 700 people can't die without an official inquiry. But you forget about that, eh? Go back and rest.
Thank you, sir.
I'll send a message through to New York to tell them to expect us. Dean?
Oh, yes, sir?
Get this message through, will you? We've picked up all survivors of the Titanic.
Right, sir. Anything else, sir?
Yes. Yes, I think a brief service over the spot where the Titanic went down might be appropriate.
Yes, of course, sir. Yes, of course, sir.
I'll ask Father Anderson to conduct it. We'll assemble in the lounge.
People gave thanks for the living and paid their respects to the dead. And a waiting world was told.
Titanic struck iceberg and sank. 2:20 this morning. All survivors picked up. We very much fear that there has been great loss of life.
In a short while, the Carpathia turned and made full speed for New York. Only smudges of oil lay on the green water which lapped against a solitary iceberg. There was no trace at all of the great ship which had started out so proudly on its maiden voyage. Only a single lifebelt being carried away by the currents. A lifebelt with the letters RMS Titanic staring up at the sky.
Every Saturday night at 9 o'clock, we bring you a true story that has made headlines in Scoop. Scoop. True stories that have made headlines.
The Valiant Lady.
You're going now, Thomas. So soon?
I must, my dear. My men are already waiting outside. I can't keep them any longer.
I see.
Oh, don't look so sad, Blanche. I shall be back before long. Besides, you forget that King Charles needs every man at his side to fight this Oliver Cromwell, as he's called.
Yes, I know, my dear. I understand. It's just that Wardour Castle won't be the same without you.
Oh, you will have plenty to do. You've Cicely and the children with you, so you won't be lonely. And then there are the tenants. I'd like you to care for them while I'm away.
Of course I shall, Thomas. No, I'll not be lonely, only a little anxious. Is all going well in Oxford, Thomas?
I wish I knew. One hears so little. All I know is that the king has been there for a month, that the city is surrounded by parliamentary forces, and that somehow or other we're going to have to persuade him to leave and consolidate his forces elsewhere. If we can do that, things should improve.
You'll do it, my dear.
And when Cromwell's defeated, I shall return to you as soon as I'm able.
And I shall welcome you.
Blanche, there's only one thing that worries me. What if the parliamentary forces should try to take this castle?
Is that possible?
I'm afraid so. They tell me Cromwell's men are already sweeping across England, searching for malignants, as they call us. What would you do?
I'd defend Wardour Castle to the last extremity.
Ah, that's what I'd hoped you'd say, Blanche. Defend it to the last extremity.
My Lord Arundel.
Ah, there you are, Will. Is everything prepared?
Men are mounted, my lord, and ready to leave.
Good. Well, I'll come down to them now. Why are you carrying your sword, Will?
Why, my lord? I thought it was obvious. I can't go into battle without one now, can I?
Must we go through this all over again, Will?
My lord, you've never ridden to the king's service without me.
Well, this time I must. You remain with Lady Arundel to protect her from the Roundheads.
Surely they're not likely to attack the castle.
I'd say it's a certainty that at least they'll come here. Someone with experience will have to stay with her ladyship.
You can leave it to me, my lord. We'll hold the castle for you.
God bless you, Will Coombs. Come, my dear. We'll go down to the gate together.
Oh, Father, I do wish you weren't going.
I wish the same, my dear.
If you should see Robin, you'll give her my love.
I most certainly will. And that of the children.
It's been so long.
We must have courage, Cicely. First, we must defeat the Roundheads, so that our King Charles I may sit safely on his throne once more. And then we'll all be together again.
I wish I had your courage, Mama.
Nonsense, child. You're only young. Courage comes with age. When you see our son, do as Cicely asks. Give him her love. And mine.
Those will be my first words to him. Goodbye, my love.
Until we meet again, Thomas.
Take care of my family, Will.
I'll do that, my lord. You can be sure I'll do that.
And you, daughter-in-law. Don't forget you have 2 sons who must carry the name of Arundel. Guard them well.
I most certainly will, dear Father.
And now, friends, forward in the name of Charles, King of England.
Whatever's happened.
Come quickly, my lady. They're here.
Who are here?
The Roundheads.
The parliamentary forces are here already?
They're coming over the hills towards the castle.
I see. Then we shall have to go and meet them, shan't we?
And then what will you do, my lady?
Exactly what my husband told me to do. Hold the castle to the end.
You're prepared to fight?
It's necessary.
In that case, shall I tell the men?
First, I'll speak to the commander of these Roundheads. After that, it will be time to decide.
Mama! Oh, Mama, come quickly. The Roundheads are here.
Yes, my dear, I know. Well, it's just hope.
What shall we do? We'll all be killed.
Take the children into the central tower, Cicely, and stay there with them.
But how can I leave you? What have you...
Do as I say, Cicely. At all costs, your sons must be safe.
But what about
Don't
you?
Don't worry about me. I'll be all right. Will's coming with me, so that I can speak to these roundheads.
They'll kill you.
I don't think so, my dear. Now hurry along and do as I ask.
Very well, Mother.
And Cicely, make sure all the women servants are with you. This is work for the men. And me. Can you see who's in charge of them, Will?
I think it's the officer on the black horse, my lady. He's coming towards us now.
Oh, yes, I see him. One gets an excellent view from this window, Will. I'll speak to him from here.
Is it quite dignified, my lady?
Would you have me invite them into the castle, Will?
No, my lady. At least, not until our swords are sharpened and our muskets are loaded.
Quiet. He's seen us.
Lady Blanche Arundel.
I am she.
I am Sir Edward Hungerford, commander of the parliamentary forces, at present outside your castle. We are here to arrest Thomas, Lord Arundel.
My husband is not here. He has already left for Oxford and the king.
As we thought. He's a traitor to our cause.
That, sir, is a matter of opinion.
And your son, Robin Arundel?
He is with his father.
You are alone here.
With my daughter-in-law and my servants.
Then you will have the grace to open the gates in the name of Parliament.
Never.
I beg your pardon, madam.
As long as my husband's away, I shall not open the gates.
Then I shall have to blast them down.
You may do as you wish, sir. I am not opening the gates.
I don't like the look of it, my lady.
At the moment, we've nothing to fear, Will. There are only a few soldiers out there. We could hold the castle against them until doomsday.
Oh, I hope you're right, my lady. I hope you're right.
Don't think you've won, my lady. We are not leaving Wardour. We shall lay siege to the castle if necessary. And if that doesn't succeed, we shall blow the building to pieces.
And we shall wait until that time comes, Sir Edward.
You are a fool, madam.
Probably. Good day to you, Sir Edward. Come, Will. We must go to the stores and plan some system of rationing.
He's riding away, my lady.
I expect to set up camp.
Oh, I wonder how long we've got.
Long enough to prepare our defense against the siege he's promised us.
Mamma, why are you still sitting by the window?
What else is there to do, child?
Do you think the Roundheads will attack us?
I thought so this morning, but when I saw them, they brought more soldiers, but they're still sitting there.
There must be over 1,000 men out there by now. For how long could we hold the castle?
Your father-in-law said we must hold it to the last extremity, and that's what I'm going to do. Are you afraid of dying, Cicely?
I don't know. I think I'm afraid of the manner in which I shall die. But it's the children for whom I'm most afraid. Why should they become part of this terrible war?
See who's at the door, child.
Yes, Ma. Why, Will Coombs, what's happened?
I must see my lady.
Come in, Will.
I'm sorry to bother you, my lady, but I'm afraid we're in for some trouble.
We're in trouble already, Will. What more could there be?
I've been up in the central tower, which overlooks the hills. The Roundheads have reinforcements arriving from Shaftesbury. They've brought siege guns.
Siege guns? So they've at last decided to do something about us, have they? Is everyone armed, Will?
Yes, my lady. What 50 men can do against 1,000, I really don't know.
Only 24 of our men, including Will, have been trained as soldiers. The rest are just old men and boys.
The women shall fight, too. Each is able to load a musket, if she can do nothing else.
Do you think they'll rush the walls, Will?
Oh, I doubt it, my lady. That'd mean losing too many fighting men. Well, they're more likely to bombard us into submission.
So they're tired of sitting there waiting for us to starve. We must prepare ourselves. Take the children to the central tower, Cicely. They should be safe enough there for a while.
What will you do?
Will and I must prepare for battle.
Oh, how much longer will this bombardment last?
Cicely, why are you here? Go back to the children.
I can't stand not knowing what's happening. Oh, Mamma, we'll never defeat them.
We can only do our best. This musket's ready, Will. Take it and let me load the other.
Thank you, my lady.
Oh, please don't stand here. You could be killed.
Do as I tell you, Cicely. Go to the children. They'll be frightened without you.
I'm not good company for them. They know I'm afraid. How can you stand fighting night and day? It's been going on for so long.
And will go on forever if need be. Do as I say, Cicely. Go to the children.
Oh, very well, Mamma.
Why don't you go down with the lady, Cicely, my lady? You must be tired.
And leave you all to fight the battle? What do you take me for?
You're a brave woman, and we're proud to be fighting at your side.
The guns. They've stopped firing.
You're right, my lady.
What's happening, Will? Can you see?
Not too well from here, my lady. Smoke's too heavy. Perhaps they're changing position.
Look over there. Surely that's Hungerford walking towards us.
Yes, that's him. Oh, what does he want?
He's carrying a white flag. He wants to talk to us.
Well, let's hope what he has to say is worth hearing.
Lady Arundel. Where is Lady Arundel?
Will you answer him?
What else can I do? I am here, Sir Edward.
We are here to offer you conditions of surrender, madam.
Fool, does he think...
Listen to him, my lady. See what it is he's offering.
Well, Sir Edward?
Surrender the castle to Parliament, and in return, your retainers shall be given their freedom.
And my family, Sir Edward? What will happen to them?
You will be taken to Shaftesbury.
As prisoners?
Naturally. Did you expect otherwise? You are enemies of state.
You are wrong, Sir Edward. It is you who are the traitors. We are loyal to the king. This is our only crime.
Will you accept our conditions?
Does this freedom of which you speak also apply to the men of my household?
Only the women will be set free.
And the men?
They will be hanged.
You expect me to accept such conditions?
Perhaps you should listen to him, my lady. Think of the children as well.
I am thinking of the children. I'm thinking of us all.
You have an hour in which to make up your mind. If you refuse, we shall raise the castle to the ground.
Do what you wish, Sir Edward. When my husband left Wardour, I promised to hold the castle to the end, and that is what I intend doing.
My lady.
Will, what is it? Has something happened? I was asleep.
Forgive me for waking you, but those roundheads are worrying me.
Sorry, well, I'm befuddled with sleep.
They're bringing up petards to the gates.
They'll try to break into the castle.
I'm afraid that's what we've got to expect.
Claire, they'll try to blast down the doors. What chance do we stand for?
I'd say practically none, my lady. And that's not all. Hal Simpkins says they're preparing fireballs to hurl through the windows.
Come, Will. We must go down and look.
If only I hadn't had to rouse you, my lady. You've had little enough sleep over the past few days. But this could be the end of the siege.
Oh, well, it can't be true. We've all fought so hard. We must do something to stop them. Where are Cicely and the children?
In the vaults, my lady. We felt they'd be safer there. My lady, before we go any further, listen to me. I don't know how to say this, but...
Go on, Will. What is it you have to say?
For the sake of the children, you're going to have to surrender. The castle is only a possession. The name of Arundel is the thing that must be handed down. You can take no chances with the lives of your grandchildren.
You're right, of course. But there's nothing much else I can do.
The castle can't stand more of this battering, my lady. If we let it continue, the building will fall about our ears. What's worse, not one of us will come out alive. There's already 3 men and 1 woman badly injured. Come to the window, my lady. Do you see that group of soldiers by the gates? Sir Edward's amongst them.
Yes, I can see him.
Call him, my lady. He'll hear you from there.
Sir Edward!
He's looking up.
Good day to you, my lady.
The time has come for us to discuss the siege together. We'll open the gates, and you and your commanders can enter the castle.
Very well. We agree to that.
I've done it, Will. That was the first step to surrender. Will my husband mind?
I think you'll agree that this is the last extremity, my lady.
Lady Arundel, I'm proud to meet you. You're not only a very valiant woman, but you're also a very wise one.
I've no time for pleasantries now, Sir Edward. Let me tell you what I have to say, and then we can make final arrangements.
As you will.
I've held this castle against you for 6 days. I am unable to hold out any longer.
I'm amazed you've held out as long as this.
I am prepared to surrender Wardour to Parliament on certain conditions.
I hardly think it's up to you to make conditions, my lady.
Probably not. However, I want you to know that my people and I are prepared to fight on until all of us are dead, if necessary. At the same time, I must, if it is possible, save the people I love.
And your conditions, my lady?
Freedom for every person, man, woman, and child, in this castle.
And the men of your household?
They are to remain here, not as prisoners, but as free men, to see that my husband's property is well cared for.
Your conditions are accepted.
And now a favor.
Ask it.
That I may be allowed to take my daughter-in-law and grandchildren and my husband's steward, Will Coombs, with me.
Where do you plan to go, my lady?
To Oxford, to join my husband.
That we will discuss later. If you will allow my troops to enter the castle, I shall see that you are well treated.
Thank you, Sir Edward. We shall open the gates to your soldiers at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. I was too trusting.
What else could you do? You surrendered in good faith. Surely you could expect the Roundheads to keep their word.
Oh, well, we're prisoners of war, and that's all there is to it.
How long must we stay in Shaftesbury?
Until the king or Parliament ends this terrible war.
As long as the children are safe, I shall be happy.
They'll be safe, my dear. I can't imagine the soldiers of Parliament would ill-treat two little boys. Look, there's Shaftesbury at last. It's good to be home, even though we are prisoners.
Mamma, there's news.
Cicely, what is it?
They say we're moving from Shaftesbury.
Moving? Where to?
Sir Edward tells me that the parliamentarians believe Shaftesbury is no longer safe as a prison for those who support the king.
The Cavaliers are coming?
I don't know. He wouldn't say.
When do we leave?
Today.
But that's ridiculous. It gives us no time to... Cicely, I've made up my mind. I won't leave Shaftesbury. Our home here is comfortable, and I won't start all over again somewhere else. Besides, I must be within reach of Wardour Castle. When the war ends and Thomas comes home, I want to be there, waiting for him. No, I won't leave this time.
And if they're determined? I tell you, Mamma, Sir Edward will be here any minute now to ask whether you're ready to leave.
He's told you where we're going?
To Bath.
Bath? It can't be. Will tells me that...
Mamma, what is it?
Oh, nothing, my child. Just something I thought of. It is not important. Cicely?
Yes?
Fetch my wrap. I've decided to go to bed.
You're going to bed now?
Yes, I think so. I've always felt that bed is best for a cold. Besides, I can't possibly leave Shaftesbury when I'm ill in bed, can I?
Oh, Mamma, you're impossible. He'd be furious. Oh, I wish I had your courage and determination.
As I've frequently told you before, Cicely, it comes with age and experience.
Oh, you better hurry. He's here.
I'm in bed. Now pull the blankets up for me and then open the door.
Right.
There, that's it.
Ah, Sir Edward. You want to see Lady Arundel, I believe. Well, I'm afraid my mother's not very well. She's gone to bed.
I'm sorry.
You wanted to see me?
I certainly did, madam. I have been given orders that you and your family shall leave for Bath today.
Oh, upon my soul. What a ridiculous thought. I'm ill, and in no fit state to travel to a city where there's an epidemic of plague.
Plague?
I don't understand.
You are sending as many cavaliers as you are able to Bath in order that they may die a natural death. That's it, isn't it?
What do you take us for, my lady?
Exactly what you are, Sir Edward. Devils incarnate.
Yeoman, prepare to carry Lady Arundel to her carriage.
No, I won't allow it. Leave her alone.
You are very foolish, Sir Edward. You know the reputation of the Arundels in the West Country?
What has that to do with it?
I'd say you might jeopardize your popularity with the people there if Lady Blanche Arundel were to die on your hands during a journey to Bath. Close the curtain, Cicely, dear. I want to rest.
Yes, Mamma.
Very well, my lady. You've won the first round. You and your daughter-in-law may stay in Shaftesbury.
Mamma! My sons, what are they doing at the front door?
Lady Cicely, you and Lady Arundel may stay here. But your sons must leave Shaftesbury immediately.
You're not taking them to Bath.
If we think it necessary to take...
I won't let you. Oh, you're devils.
Cicely, my dear, calm yourself.
Mamma, you don't understand. The children are already on horseback. They're taking them to Bath, to the plague.
You're wrong, my lady. Your sons are to leave Shaftesbury, it's true. But they are going to Dorchester.
Alone? But they're only babies. Oh, Mamma, you wouldn't let them do that.
Edward, wait.
Why, Lady Arundel, how good to see you out of bed. Your health has returned.
For the children's sake.
I can assure you, madam, nothing will happen to them.
Oh, have pity. Please have pity.
Close the door, yeoman, and then bolt it.
No, I won't let you.
Cicely, my dear, wait. Sir Edward, let me...
We are not interested in you, my lady. It's the children we want. They can be educated to the right way of thinking.
Oh, Robin, it's you after all this time.
Mother, you're safe.
Oh, my dear, where have you been?
Mother, I have bad news. You must be brave.
It's Thomas. He's dead.
Yes, my dear. Father died of wounds 3 days after the Battle of Lansdowne.
He asked me to hold Wardour. I failed him. And now he's dead.
And we have taken Shaftesbury, and will retake Wardour Castle at the earliest opportunity.
Robin, is this true?
They say our chances are good.
When do we start?
We?
Do you think I'd let you go alone?
But we're going to fight, Mother.
I am accustomed to fighting. When do we leave?
In a week's time. I shall collect a small force of assault troops, and then we'll lay siege to the castle until they surrender. Whatever happens, I shall retake it in Father's name.
And I shall be beside you when you ride through the gates once more.
They're like bulldogs, Will. They won't let go.
What shall we do, my lord?
There's only one thing left to do. Undermine the walls and towers.
Destroy Wardour Castle altogether?
Yes. Mother, you do see that is what we've got to do, don't you?
Yes, my son, I see.
It means you'll no longer be able to live there.
Oh, my dear Robin, I, too, would destroy it rather than see all that your father and his ancestors have worked for fall into the hands of the Roundheads.
You're a brave woman.
No, my son, I'm not brave. Just tired of fighting. But until it's time to rest, come, Robin, third Lord of Arundel, let us go into battle. Oh, how our home has changed, my son.
It's been through a great deal, Mother. Hungerford shattered the banqueting hall, and we have damaged the walls and western towers.
I'm glad your father didn't live to see it as it is today. Would have broken his heart.
My lady. Oh, my lady.
Yes, well, what is it?
My lady, the king has been defeated.
Oh, no. Where? How did it happen?
Cromwell's troops have defeated King Charles at Naseby.
What does it mean, Robin?
The end of an era, Mother.
And yet we must fight on.
Yes, we must fight on. We'll not win the battle, I'm afraid. I swear that within the year, Cromwell will be ruling England. But one day, perhaps not too far ahead, either Charles or his son will sit on the throne once more.
I pray you're right, my son.
I'm sure I am. Come, Mother. Let's go back to Sicily. And now that the fighting's over, I can reclaim my sons. Our job at Wardour Castle is done.
Every Saturday night at 9 o'clock, we bring you a true story that has made headlines in Scoop. Scoop. True stories that have made headlines.
$1850. Wakeman steals the steamboat New World.
Who did you say you are?
The name's Osborne, Edmund Osborne. I'm sheriff of New York.
Sheriff?
That's right, Captain Wakeman. I'm here to seize this steamboat to help pay off the owner's debts. Now then, if you let me come aboard...
Let you come aboard? I most certainly won't. I'm captain of this steamboat, and
I don't think you understand what I'm saying, Captain. I'm the law. Defy me, and I could have you arrested.
I see. All right, you'd better come aboard, then.
Thank you.
Do these gentlemen have to come with you?
Naturally, they're my deputies.
How many criminals do you think you're going to arrest?
Don't misunderstand me, Captain. We're not here to arrest anyone at the moment. We just wanted to make sure that no one sails her away.
Where would we sail her to, Mr. Osborne? The New World was built for work on the Hudson River, not the high seas. Sam Swain?
Captain?
Swain's my mate. You have to tell him what's going on, or he'll wonder what's happening.
You called me, Captain?
I certainly did, Sam. Meet the Sheriff of New York and his deputies.
Sheriff?
Oh, don't worry, Mr. Mate. He's not come for you.
Then who?
The New World.
The steamboat? But why? There's nothing wrong with it.
Hold your horses, Sam. This is my day cabin, Mr. Osborne. Maybe you'll be good enough to step inside. Don't want to upset the crew.
Thank you.
Now then, maybe if we were to discuss the matter...
I'm afraid there's nothing to discuss. As law officers, it's our duty to stay aboard the New World until she's been sold to defray all debts.
Did you hear that, Sam? This is an outrage.
Maybe that's how it appears to you. Nevertheless, it's got to be done. Perhaps you'd like to contact the owner and make arrangements.
No, I don't think that's necessary. I'm sure as captain of this steamboat, I'm capable of dealing with the situation.
Very well, then.
Have we got to stay here, tied up to the quay?
Naturally, we can't permit you to continue your business up the river.
I see. Well, that makes things difficult, doesn't it, Sam?
Captain?
I can't see any difficulty.
As a layman, or should I say a landlubber, I'm sure you can, Sheriff. You see, it's a technical matter.
I'm afraid I don't understand.
Then I'll explain. You want to be sure, I imagine, that the engines are in order.
Well, I don't know.
She wouldn't be worth much if they weren't, would she?
Well, I suppose not.
Well, exactly. That's why it's absolutely essential the engine should be warmed up.
Are you going to sail her?
Sail her? Oh, of course not. Wouldn't dream of it. I simply want to turn the engines over to make sure they're not faulty.
I can't see that a steamboat that was working yesterday would suddenly be faulty today.
Oh, it most certainly could. Couldn't it, Sam?
Could break down any minute, Captain.
Well, you've heard the opinion of an expert, Mr. Osborne.
You only want to turn the engines over.
Oh, that's it, Sheriff. Turn the engines over.
I reckon there's no harm in that. And we'd have to stay aboard, of course.
Oh, of course. Now then, perhaps you'd like to sit here and have a cup of coffee.
I'm wondering whether I shouldn't go ashore.
Oh, not before coffee, my dear Sheriff. Sam Swain will arrange it for you, won't you, Mr. Mate?
Aye, aye, Captain.
Well, that's most kind of you.
No trouble at all. Well, come along, Mr. Mate. We've got work to do.
We're going to sea, Captain?
Why not?
Well, she weren't built for the sea. The New World's a riverboat.
I'm aware of that. But I'm not going to let any sheriff take her away from me.
But you're not the owner, Captain. It's the owner who's in trouble.
Listen to me, Sam Swain. I've been captain of this boat ever since she was launched. And I don't intend giving her up now.
Where will we go?
We'll worry about that when we get out of New York.
Supposing the crew refuses to go?
Well, they don't have to. They can go ashore whenever it pleases them.
And the law officers?
Oh, I haven't made up my mind about them yet.
You can't kidnap them.
Well, that's true. What about you, Sam? Are you willing to come with me?
Well, I guess I'm mad, but I'm with you, Captain.
Oh, well, I won't hold it against you if you want to go ashore.
Where would I go? Haven't any other home other than the New World.
Well, in that case, we'll go down to the engine room and tell Fred Bridges to raise a full head of steam.
I can't wait to see the sheriff's face when he finds he's at sea.
Talking of that, we'd better be prepared for trouble. I'd say he's armed.
Well, I reckon we can do as well as he. I'll warn the lads. I can't believe we're actually leaving New York, Captain. She's riding so well.
Best steamboat I've ever captained, Mr. Mate.
How do we steer?
When we get clear of the tidal arm, we'll sail due south. I want to see something of South America.
Hear that, helmsman?
Aye, sir.
I can't understand why our friends haven't come out on deck. They must have felt the movement of a boat by now.
Well, you know what these landlubbers are like. They wouldn't know the difference between a steamboat and a toy boat in the pond. Probably sitting gorging themselves in your cabin for the next hour or so.
Have you had any trouble with any of the crew?
Well, a couple. Pete Langton doesn't want to leave his family, and Bob Frank doesn't fancy being a pirate.
A pirate?
Well, that's what it'll mean, isn't it, Captain?
Well, I hadn't really thought of it like that.
Not that we're going to attack any ships, if you see what I mean.
No, we certainly won't do that, Mr. Mate. So, Pete and Bob are still with us?
For the time being. I told them they must make up their minds before we reach the open sea.
Well, what happens then if they want to go ashore?
Then they can take one of the dinghies and get off of the steamer as quick as possible.
Why didn't you let them go before?
Well, let them raise the alarm? What do you take me for?
Oh, that's what I like. A man with initiative.
Then you'd better use yours pretty fast, Captain Wakeman.
Osborne.
That's right. Osborne and armed. Don't make a move, Captain, or I might do something I'll regret. Now turn the New World about and take us back to New York.
That's impossible.
Impossible? Why?
Because I'm leaving New York for good.
Captain Wakeman, you don't seem to understand the position. You'll do as I say, or I'll be forced to fire this gun.
Mr. Osborne, it is you who don't understand the position. We are at sea now, and I am the law.
That's ridiculous. You must be joking.
I was never more serious in all my life. I make the decisions aboard the New World. We're going on.
I don't. I say that... Your crew, they're armed.
As you are.
Knives, pistols. What is this, a pirate ship?
That it is not, sir. My men are only defending themselves, Sheriff. Mr. Mate, kindly relieve Mr. Osborne of his gun.
Aye, sir.
Good. Now, what shall we do with you and your deputies?
You're not taking us with you?
Well, I'm afraid you'll be more trouble than you're worth.
Then what?
What indeed? I'd say there are two alternatives open to us, wouldn't you, Mr. Mate?
Captain?
We could either throw them overboard...
That's murder.
Exactly, Sheriff. And whatever else I may be, I'm not a murderer.
One can be thankful for that. What are you going to do with us?
Tell the lads to launch the poor dinghy, Sam. They can take our friends back with them to New York.
You're sending us ashore?
That's what I said, isn't it? You're going back to New York.
Hey, you'll never get away with this, Captain Wakeman.
I'd say that's a matter of opinion, Mr. Osborne. A matter of opinion.
I don't know how you did it, Captain.
A bluff, Mr. Mate. If you believe implicitly in whatever it is you're telling someone, you can be sure they believe it, too.
But the sailing to Pernambuco as cool as you please and go ashore as if you owned the whole of Brazil and suggest they fill the steamboat with coal, well, that's something even the president couldn't do.
You're probably right there. But I didn't steal the coal, Mr. Mate. I give them money for it.
Well, you didn't show the authorities your papers?
What papers?
Well, the ones that say that you're...
You were saying, Sam?
Oh, no, I think I was saying the ones that declare that you're the master of the New World.
That's what I thought you were going to say. I don't have any such documents, Mr. Mate.
I see.
Don't let that worry you. Who wants documents? They only clutter up the place.
Yeah, I suppose they do.
What did you think of Brazil, Sam? Should we have stayed there?
Well, the men liked it, Captain, but I don't see how we could have left our way along much longer.
Oh, I suppose you're right there. Perhaps Trinidad will be easier.
Well, I'd say it'll be worse. Trinidad belongs to the British.
Ship off the port bow.
Oh, ship?
Ahoy, look out. Can you make her out?
Could be a frigate.
A warship. We're going to have to do something about that, Mr. Mate.
Won't do us any harm if we leave her alone, Captain.
Well, I'm not so sure about that. The absence of those documents could be more of a problem than I thought. If the frigate is a naval vessel, and if she became interested in the sight of a river excursion boat sailing the high seas, she could board us.
Yeah. What would happen then?
She could seize us as a prize.
Some prize. Make anything of that frigate. Look out.
She's ready.
Can't take a chance, Mr. Mate. Go about, helmsman.
Aye, sir.
What do you reckon we ought to do, Captain?
Go back to Brazil as fast as we can, Mr. Mate.
To Pernambuco?
I'm not as mad as that. We'll make for Rio de Janeiro. I don't know about you, Sam, but I'm enjoying this trip. And no British frigate is going to spoil it for me.
Well, it's the same with all of us, Captain. I tell you, I haven't had such a good time since first I went to sea. But only one thing worries me, though.
What's that, Sam?
We can't spend our lives wandering the oceans with no money.
You're right, Sam. And I wouldn't expect it of you. I've already made plans, and once we're over this slight problem, I'll tell you all about them.
Wonder what they think in New York.
They'd be checking up on us. You can be sure of that.
Frigate signaling, sir.
This is it, Mr. Mate?
They're ordering us to heave to.
I thought so. Well, Mr. Mate, we'd better take to our heels.
We're going to run away?
We'll have no alternative. Full steam ahead and give her everything you've got.
Doubt if we'll beat her, Captain.
Oh, nonsense, Sam. The New World's the fastest steamship afloat.
What do they call that mountain, Captain?
The Sugarloaf.
Pretty, isn't it?
It's one of the sights of Rio de Janeiro.
We're going to shore?
Well, I've got to get some papers.
I don't see how.
Oh, I'll think of a way. There's an American consul here. Yeah, I think I've got an idea.
There are a lot of people waiting on the quay.
Oh, I'm not surprised. I doubt whether they've seen a river steamboat before. Is the dinghy launched, Mr. Mate?
Aye, aye, Captain.
Then you're going to row me ashore.
I am?
Oh, come on. They won't eat you. Pass me that box.
You mean this one?
No, the tin one on the table.
Here you are. What do you want that for? It's empty.
Well, I think it's going to be useful. Now, come along, Sam. We don't want to keep anyone waiting. All right, Mr. Mate. What are you waiting for? Get rowing.
Aye, aye, Captain. Might be thrown to the lions, isn't it, Captain?
Oh, put a brave face to it, Mr. Mate.
I don't like to sound inquisitive, Captain, but there seems to be an awful lot going on about that box.
I have patience, Sam. Would you say the water's cold or warm?
I don't know, sir. I'll just put my hand in. Guess it's a bit nippy.
Ah, pity. Do you see that man with the cigar standing on the quay? The one in the Panama hat and the cream frock coat?
Yeah, I see him.
Would you say he's the American consul, Mr. Mate?
Well, he's a bit apart from the others, Captain. Guess he could be. Why do you ask?
I'll take that chance. Perhaps if I were to stand up...
Hey, Captain, hang on, will you?
Move to the left.
Steady, you're rocking the boat.
Well, that's
Hang
fine.
on.
Here goes.
Captain! Steady, Captain, hold on, will you? Now, go on, grab this oar.
Oh, I can manage.
What made you stand up like that?
I'll pull me over the side,
All right.
Mr. Mate.
Hey, the box, Captain. Where's the box?
Don't worry about that, Mr. Mate. It's gone to the bottom of the harbor, where it should have been a long time ago.
On my soul, dear sir, I never thought to see you survive that fall. Can I help you up under the quay?
Thank you, sir. Wait there in the dinghy, Mr. Mate.
Aye, aye, sir.
You are an American, sir?
That's right. My name's Tom Painter. I'm the American consul here at Rio de Janeiro.
Oh, the consul. That's a spot of luck. Well, I'm Captain Ned Wakeman.
Glad to meet you. You wanted to see me?
Well, I do now, sir. But perhaps I should return to the ship and change my clothes.
Oh, don't trouble now. My house is just there. You come with me, I'm sure something of mine would fit you.
Oh, you're most kind.
I hardly thought to see a river excursion boat in Rio de Janeiro. Now, what brings you here?
Well, I'm on my way to Callao in Peru, and then Panama.
Bless my soul, that's a long way to go in such a craft.
Someone in Callao is interested in buying her.
I see. And when do you leave Rio?
Well, sir, I'd hope to leave within the next couple of days, sir, after we've coaled and victualled. But I'm afraid...
Yes? You in some kind of trouble?
Oh, nothing very bad, but a problem when one sails from port to port. Well, I'm afraid I was rather foolish. You see, I dropped the ship's box when I fell into the water.
The tin box you were carrying?
Well, that's it. That's very careless of me, and I'm most worried. I can't think what the owner will say when I return.
There were papers of considerable importance inside.
Well, every document concerning the steamboat is in that box, Mr. Painter. Now, perhaps if I could get someone to dive down...
Now, my dear Captain Wakeman, surely you must realize how deep the water is.
Oh, I know. Well, I'm afraid it was a vain hope.
All the ship's papers, you said?
Yes. Now, can you imagine it? There were even the documents declaring me the master of the New World. Without them, we could be boarded by some other powerful ship and seized as a prize. The situation would be impossible. An American ship in the hands of some foreign power? Now, what do you think of that, sir?
Well, I'm pretty sure I could do something about that, Captain.
Well, you really think so, Mr. Painter? Well, I would be eternally in your debt. I should never have carried the box with me. But I never care to leave such documents behind on the ship.
That's quite natural. Well, come along to the consulate and meet my wife. Yes, and don't worry about your papers, Captain Wakeman. I'm quite sure I'll be able to replace every one by the time you leave this port.
Not only the papers I had, Sam, but even those I've never had. Since leaving Rio, I've been the official master of the New World. All that worrying for nothing.
It was a smart piece of work, if I say so, Captain.
And now we're on our way to Panama.
Panama, but we can't go there.
Well, what are you talking about?
Well, early this morning, we passed a ship.
Well,
she must have recognized us. A signal that we should tell Captain Wakeman, they mention you by name, that he is now regarded as a pirate.
A pirate? Oh, why? Well, I haven't robbed anyone, except... So they look on my theft of the ship as piracy. Well, I suppose it is. Oh, it's just that I didn't want to lose her.
Well, I know how you feel, Captain. I've grown attached to her, too.
It's stupid of me, but I'd rather leave the sea altogether than give up the New World.
The police are waiting to arrest you in Panama.
They told you that?
Yeah. Sounds as though it's her friend, the sheriff. Chased you halfway around the world, isn't he?
In that case, we mustn't disappoint him, must we?
You're going to Panama?
Why not?
Well, the warrant that they could put you in prison or take you back to New York.
In life, anything could happen, Mr. Mate. We could all be drowned tomorrow. I tell you, we're going to Panama, and I shall go ashore. Well, Mr. Mate, if they'd been waiting for us here in Panama, they'd have been on the quayside. We never got as far as this tavern. Did you see our friend Osborne?
Not so sure, but I think there were policemen.
Well, I'm not going to let it worry me. Everyone seems to be in a fine old state in Panama. Well, I've never seen so much coming and going. And all one hears is the word gold.
It's the finest word in the English dictionary.
I beg your pardon?
Might I sit at your table? This seems to be the only vacant seat.
Well, make yourself at home.
Well, that's very good, I'm sure. Will you have a drink with me?
Well, thank you, but we have to go in a minute.
Oh, in that case, I'll drink alone. Waiter, same again, please. You visiting Panama?
Oh, for a little while.
You mentioned gold. You know about the finding of gold in California, don't you?
Oh, I've been away from America for quite some time.
Oh, in that case, you'll be interested to hear that vast gold mines have been found there. And hundreds of people are trying to buy passengers to San Francisco. I'm after one myself.
You mean people are trying to get from Panama to San Francisco?
I said so, didn't I? What's more, they'd give their life savings to get there. I had of a bath just a few days ago. It cost me $100, but it would have been worth it.
If you're so anxious to get there, why didn't you take it?
Well, my dear man, because there are always 50 people after each berth. I missed it. That's the sum total of it.
And how many people would you say are still waiting to get to America?
Well, that's a good one. How many? 100.
You interest me. Mr. Maid, how many could the New World carry?
Do you think you should, Captain?
And not only should, but will. How many, Mr. Maid?
200?
200 at $100 each. What do you say to that?
You could carry that number of people? Oh, just a darling man you are. Patrick Ryan will be first on the list.
How are you going to do it,
Don't try to talk me out of it, Sam. I've made up my mind. Listen to me, Pat O'Ryan. If you're down at the harbor tomorrow afternoon with as many of your friends as want to go, you can all sail with me to California. How much have we got in the ship's safe, Mr. Mate?
$20,000, Captain.
Is every cabin taken?
Hey, you must be joking. They're all over the place. They're even sleeping on the decks. They're like locusts.
When do we cast off, Captain?
Within the hour, Mr. O'Ryan.
Can't believe it. After all this time, California, the golden land. We'll be rich. That's what'll happen. We'll be rich.
Well, get them all aboard, Mr. Mate.
Yeah, I'll do that, Captain. I want to get out of this place. I got a strange feeling something's going to happen.
Captain Wakeman?
And here we go.
Oh, Mr. Osborne.
That's right, Captain. Mr. Osborne, all right?
I can't say I'm glad to see you.
I'm sure you're not. I've a warrant for your arrest.
A warrant?
I have got troubles with this man, Captain.
I don't know who you are, sir, but I can tell you one thing. I'm having trouble with the captain. Now then, will you come quietly or...
Come quietly? Where to?
Prison, I should wonder.
You're going to take the good captain to prison?
It's where he should have been months ago.
Well, that may be your opinion, but it's certainly not mine. The captain's going to no prison, Mr.
Osborne, Sheriff of New York.
Well, I don't care if you're the President of the United States. Say one finger in Captain Wakeman, and I can assure you that 200 gold hunters will tear your limb from him.
Sir, I'd be glad if you'd not have struck the law. I have a warrant for the captain's arrest.
Well, we don't care about no warrant, do we, Captain? Of course we don't. We're going to be the wealthiest men in America, I shouldn't wonder. We'll be able to buy New York by the time we finish.
Stand out of my way.
Mr. Osborne, I wouldn't do this if I hadn't 200 people waiting on my steamboat to be taken to America. Now get out.
So, you've got a gun.
And I'm not afraid to use it.
I'm sure you're not. Even so, you're not taking the New World out of Panama Harbor.
You're wrong, my friend. You can make your choice. Either be shot by the good captain or lynched by the passengers on this ship. Believe me, not one of them will let anything stand in his way of the fortunes they're going to win in California.
Are you serious?
Deadly serious. Now, don't worry, my friend. Patrick Ryan knows how to deal with the law. Well, what are you waiting for? Will you tear up the warrant, or shall I?
This is outrageous.
Look about you. The captain's passengers are becoming restive. Well, what's it to be?
I have no choice. You win, this time.
Thank you. The warrant.
Take it.
Bless you, my darling man. Just a good friend you are.
Captain? Oh, Sam. Come in.
See, you're packing up.
You knew I was going to, didn't you?
Well, I suppose you can't go on forever being a pirate.
You're right. One can't. No, Sam, I want to settle down. I've sold the New World to a riverboat company who want to run her at Puget Sound in Washington State. So she'll be well cared for.
Will there be work for the crew?
I suppose so, if you want it. Don't you feel like settling down, Sam?
I don't have the money, Captain.
Oh, I think you do. We're going to divide up the money we took from the gold hunters and the price of the steamboat between those of us who are left.
Now, hang on. You're giving us the money?
There's a lot to be said for loyalty, Sam. And my crew's been loyal to me. Well, especially you. I'd like to repay you.
I didn't come here for that.
I know you didn't. But it would make me happy if you'd agree to the proposal. Well, what do you say?
What are you going to do now that there's no New World, Captain?
Oh, I thought of becoming a gentleman of leisure. I've been practicing a bit of public speaking since we started on this journey, and I think I'll make a lecture tour or two around the country. And you?
Well, I've always wanted to be a farmer, in a small way, of course, and I've always wanted to find myself a wife to share the farm with me.
Now, what are you waiting for, Mr. Mate? Get down to the crew's quarters and tell them the captain wants them in his day cabin at the Double. We're going to divide out the spoils as soon as they get here. Well, get a move on, Mr. Mate. I can't wait all day.
Aye, sir. And if I might be allowed to say so, using Pat O'Ryan's words, of course, you're a darling man.
Every Saturday night at 9 o'clock, we bring you a true story that has made headlines in Scoop.